Today, I'm going to share 3 stories about real people who at some point in their lives made choices that at the time seemed sort of insignificant, but over time, those choices would drastically not only change their lives, but in some cases, the lives of millions and millions of other people as well. But before we get into today's stories, if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious delivered in story format, then you've come to the right place because that's all we do and we upload once a week. So if that's of interest to you, please sneak into the like button's house and replace all their toilet paper with sandpaper. Also, please subscribe to our channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our weekly uploads. Okay, let's get into today's stories. In the spring of 1986, a 22-year-old man named Will walked across the campus of the University of Missouri. Will was just a few months away from graduating from that university with a bachelor's degree in journalism. But recently, he was starting to feel like he actually didn't want to be a journalist after all. He didn't have any real passion for journalism. However, he did have passion for Hollywood movies. Will had lived in Missouri his whole life, and now he was, going to college in Missouri as well. So he was pretty sheltered, hadn't really gone anywhere. So for him, movies had sort of been like this magical portal into a different world. Hollywood would show him all these amazing places and people. And so that was his escape. He loved Hollywood movies. And so with Will's senior year coming to a close in just a few months with, real life right there on the horizon, Will sort of had this big revelation that he simply didn't want to be a journalist. And in fact, what he was going to do is just drop out of college, literally weeks away from his degree, and move to California, to Hollywood, to actually pursue being an actor in Hollywood movies. But despite Will's incredible enthusiasm and naivete, when he got to Los Angeles, to Hollywood, he realized that he was not the only young person with this big dream. There were loads of aspiring actors and actresses who loved Hollywood and wanted to break in that were here, basically competing for all the same roles in all the same films. Now, this didn't deter Will. I mean, he wasn't totally shocked. Of course, people wanted to be big movie stars and come out here and try their hand. And so he went out and auditioned constantly. He didn't care what movie it was. He wanted to be in one, but he just was not getting the work. Nobody was picking him up. He was auditioning and being rejected over and over and over again. And Will was okay with that. He figured, okay, I'll get better and eventually get cast for something. But the problem was his finances. It was expensive to live in Los Angeles, and there really weren't all that many jobs available. I mean, during the day, Will really wanted to focus on just auditioning constantly. And so the only work he could reasonably take was sort of side gigs that he could work late at night or early in the morning. Except, again, there's so many people trying to do what Will is doing, aspiring actors and actresses, that basically all the side gigs in LA were sort of already taken. And so the only ones that were available to Will were like the bottom of the barrel side gigs, the ones nobody wanted. But, Will was determined and he was okay taking whatever was available. And so he ultimately got 2 jobs. He worked as a mascot for a fast food chicken restaurant where he basically would stand outside in a chicken suit and try to encourage people to go into the restaurant. And then at night, he would work as a limo driver, but for a very specific group of people. He was a limo driver for strippers who would go mostly to bachelor parties. And it was Will's job to drive them to and from these parties, and then also to go in with them and, sort of be the DJ, play some music for them. And then at the end of the night, he was in charge of picking up all the money and clothes that were kind of strewn about from the event and packaging it all up, putting everybody and everything back in the limo, and driving him back home again. Now, at first, Will just sort of accepted that this was his life, because eventually it was not going to be his life. He was going to break into Hollywood, and he wouldn't have to wear the chicken suit or drive the strippers around anymore. He could just be an actor, and he could do the thing he really wanted to do. But pretty quickly, Will realized that The opportunity to break in just wasn't really happening. But what was really happening is he was spending a lot of his time being the chicken suit guy and driving strippers around, because he had to pay his bills and these jobs didn't pay very much. And so he had to kind of encroach on the daytime hours and work more hours during that time that he would like to be auditioning just to pay his bills. And then when he would audition, he just continued not to get cast. And so before long, it just sort of felt like he was working these two kind of awful jobs all the time, barely sleeping, so that he could what? Just get rejected over and over and over again and not break into Hollywood? It was depressing. And ultimately what he decided to do was, you know what? I'm gonna quit one of my jobs. He decided to quit the limo stripper job and just do the chicken suit job to buy a little bit more time during the day so he could audition a little bit more, and for a little while he would just put all of his effort into that and hopefully land a big spot. And if he didn't, well, then his big dream likely was not going to pan out and he'd have to move back home. But on Will's final shift as a stripper driver, one of the strippers actually said something to him that totally changed his life. He was driving him around on their way to bachelor parties, doing this and that. And at some point, Will struck up a conversation with this woman. She was a stripper, but during the day, she too was trying to become an actress. Stripping was her side gig to make enough money to live in LA to try to break into the industry. It wasn't going great for her, but, she was enthusiastic and committed the same way Will was. And over the course of this conversation, she told Will that, in addition to auditioning and, working when you had to, you should also take this particular acting class. This one great class that all the biggest and best aspiring actors and actresses are taking, and lots of very successful actors and actresses have taken. Like, this is the one to get into. You really ought to divert some of your time during the day to going to this class. And for Will, he appreciated the input, but he's thinking like, that's not really gonna help me. Right now, I don't need to learn how to act. That's gonna take way too long. Like, I don't need that. I need action. I need to audition. I need to just be given a role, and then my training will be on the job. I'll learn by acting, not by training to act. However, he's also thinking to himself as he's driving around all night and she's talking about how great this class is, that he's like, you know what? At the same time though, my auditions have not gone well. Nothing's really going well. And so maybe I'll just go to this class once. I mean, she's gonna be there. She wants me to go. I'll go with her. I'll go one time, maybe it'll be good for me. And so he agrees to go. And so not long after this final shift where he has this sort of pivotal interaction with the stripper, he goes to the acting class, and the stripper is there and she's so excited to see him, and he makes his way in and he sits down, and at some point during the class, the instructor says, okay, we're gonna pair you up with other people in the class and you're gonna act out a scene with somebody else. And so Will, he randomly gets paired up with this other actor who in fact had a real audition that night. The scene they were gonna act out was actually gonna be done in front of actual agency reps who had come to this class. They were there literally to see this other actor do this particular scene. Will was just being asked to basically play support and allow this other actor to do their scene and hopefully get the part. And Will knows this. He's like going into this with, okay, I'm gonna read these lines and you're gonna kind of be the one really auditioning here. And it'll be in front of the whole class. It'll be, both cool to see a real audition and good exposure to the folks that are in the class. And so they do this scene, and Will, who really is just trying to play a good supporting person here, is so unbelievably talented. He's so into the scene. His emotions come through so beautifully that he completely overshadows the other actor. Like, he completely destroys them and comes out looking like the star that really he thought he was. And the agency reps were so blown away by it, they actually didn't cast the other actor who was supposed to be auditioning for this role. They basically said, no, we're not interested in you. We're gonna cast Will in this role. Will basically stole the role from this other actor. And this moment would end up being so talked about and so iconic that this virtual nobody stole the show and landed this role, that people began talking about Will in Hollywood, and wouldn't you know it, it led to his big break. Will began getting cast left and right as the lead actor, the starring role in Hollywood hit after Hollywood hit. Today, Will is one of the most famous and celebrated movie stars to have ever lived.
Who do you think it is? I don't know who it is.
He's won everything from Academy Awards and Golden Globes
The hell is Will?
People Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive. Will is his first name, but he's better known by his middle name, Brad. Brad Pitt.
Ah, it's old Brad Pitt.
In early April of 1945, a 15-year-old girl named Etta curled up on a pile of blankets inside the basement of her aunt's house in Veld, which is a small town in the Netherlands. Etta's stomach hurt so badly, and she felt weaker than she ever had in her whole life. And this was because she was quite literally on the brink of starving to death. Etta was 5 foot 6 inches tall, but her weight had plummeted to just 88 pounds. She couldn't walk, she couldn't stand, and she could barely speak. She was probably within a couple of days of actually dying. And despite the fact that, her aunt and her mother were right down there with her in the basement, along with some other refugees that her family was housing in the basement with them, nobody had food to give her. And so as much as they wanted to help her, they couldn't. And on top of that, making this already terrible situation even worse, Etta, her family, and the refugees had literally been trapped down here in this basement, for months because it was way too dangerous to go outside. It's part of the reason they couldn't get food. Going outside was a death sentence in and of itself because World War II was raging right outside. Bombs are being dropped, people are being shot, explosions left and right. I mean, they're totally trapped. So the country where Etta lived, the Netherlands, had been under Nazi occupation for almost 5 years at this point. When the Nazis had first taken over, Etta had been this strong, very energetic girl with dreams of becoming a professional ballet dancer. She'd been so young when the occupation began that she hadn't fully understood what was even happening. But then, Etta's uncle, who was a prominent anti-Nazi activist, had been captured and executed by the Nazis. And this really spurred Etta into action. I mean, she saw how serious this really was, and she was not just going to stand idly by. And so she had spent several years working with an anti-Nazi group called the Dutch Resistance, doing things like, performing ballet at secret fundraising events to try to raise money for this anti-Nazi movement, and also smuggling resistance newspapers all over the country. She'd even convinced her family to take in refugees and hide them from the Nazis, even though she knew that if she and her family were caught, they would all be killed. And all of this had given Etta a real sense of purpose. She felt like she was actually doing something tangible to fight the Nazis. However, about 9 months earlier, the Nazis had cut off supply lines into the Netherlands. And since then, the entire country had been devastated. People had basically no food. They had zero access to medicine, running water, or electricity. And so Etta, like many other people in this country, had begun to starve. And she'd gotten so sick and so weak that as she was starving, she couldn't do any work with the resistance at all anymore. All she could do was literally just lie in this basement and effectively wait to die. And that particular day, as she listened to the sound of planes, gunshots, and sirens going off outside, Etta prayed to God for help. But the only response she got was a high-pitched whistling sound, then a deafening blast. The floor shook, glass shattered, and everything. Then, at some point, one of the doctors pulled Mark aside and said, we think Lynn is dealing with some kind of infection. And so what we need to do is run some tests to figure out what this infection is, and then hopefully we can treat it. And so Mark said, okay, that sounds great. And then all day, Mark sat right next to Lynn and held her hand as the medical team came in and out of the room running all these tests. The following day, the medical team still didn't know what was wrong with Lynn. The tests they had run so far were inconclusive or were negative. Now, the biggest issue with Lynn was not trying to figure out what infection she had or how to cure her. Instead, it was, how do we keep Lynn in her hospital room?
Because
Hello?
on this second day that Lynn was at the hospital, despite being very despondent still, any chance she got, she was getting out of her bed and trying to escape her room. And so the medical team, they kept having to go find her and bring her back to her room, and they tried to explain to her, like, Lynn, you're sick. That's why you're here. You need to stay
What are you
in your
doing?
room. But
What are
Lynn
you doing?
clearly was just not getting it.
I
She
mean,
was just
out here,
not there.
you
And she
left
would
this
just say to the
tiger out
team,
here
"I wanna
wild.
go
Now I
home.
got one
I just
health.
want to go home. I want to go home."
I didn't
I
leave
seen
it
you.
out there.
You left it outside. You didn't let it
Now,
inside.
Mark, like the medical staff, was also concerned about Lynn's behavior. It was not safe for her to get up and flee
Alright,
her
guys.
I
hospital
figured
room.
one of y'all left it
But
by my
Mark kinda
door.
secretly thought, maybe
No,
this is a
that
good
was your
sign.
cat.
Because the day
I seen it.
before, Lynn didn't even walk on her own. And
Alright,
now
love you,
today,
bye.
she's walking around on her own, trying
But
to
yeah,
escape the
that
hospital,
was your
which is
cat.
bad.
Talking
But, she's ambulatory. That's going to be
Going
a
to eat
concern.
Olive Garden with that.
Also, Mark was thinking
me
that
mad.
because Lynn was cleaning
Nice.
her room over and over
Nice.
again,
I know,
she's
my
gonna
kids
get
are loving
even
it.
better medical care because the staff has
Somebody
to be
is up
super
there
focused
just
on
blast.
it.
I got
And so
the
Mark
hell.
was feeling kind of optimistic
Is it one of us?
that Lynn was on the
No,
road
no,
to
no, that's not
recovery.
what it is.
The next morning, so
I'll
now
go
Lynn
for
has
a
been
look,
at the
see what it
hospital for
is.
2 days at this
Tell you where
point.
they're at.
A nurse went into Lynn's room to check on her at about 10:15 a.m.
Oh, I see him. He's
And she
going
walked up
towards
to Lynn, who was in her bed, and Lynn
junkyard.
immediately told the nurse that she wanted to go home. And the nurse said, "Sorry, Lynn, we
I
still
mean,
don't know
I'm
what's
taking
wrong
care
with
of
you.
Papa.
You got to stay here for now." But again, it was pretty clear Lynn did
Pick up
not
his call, so
understand
he
what
has
the nurse
something
was
to get him.
saying, and so Lynn was not agitated. She was laying in bed and did not appear
Oh,
to, want to
he
flee
must
the
have
room
heard me.
anytime soon. And so the nurse took Lynn's vitals,
Eldritch
all basically
with a
normal,
revolver.
and then the nurse wrote down on Lynn's chart that her condition as of this
All right,
moment
well, it
was
gives me
fair,
time to respond
and
back
then
on
the
my
nurse
side
left
of
the
the
room.
road.
And once this
I
nurse
just thought
was
I'd come
gone,
over and say hi.
Lynn laid in bed for a second. And then,
Yeah, why are
when
we so
nobody else was
split
in the
up?
room, she sat up,
Everybody
got
move,
up,
Porter. You might want to go over there.
she took off her
That's where
hospital gown,
Strodo
she
and
pulled out all the
Pig
clothes
and
all them
wires that
packed
were
up and
on
moved to
her,
the
and
desert.
She put on her jeans, her boots, her jacket.
Bruce?
She grabbed her purse off the table.
Do what?
And she
Hello?
walked out the door. And
Hello?
The second she walked out
Hello?
the door, she would have been
Hello?
in this long
Oh,
hallway.
God.
Except her
My shit's
room was
lagging.
at the end of the hallway.
Mine
God.
too.
When she stepped
I'm
out
lagged
into the
out.
hallway,
We're
if
all
she turned
lagged.
Right,
I can't
she
shut
would
the
have seen
door.
a long,
Ah.
long stretch of hallway
shit.
and other hospital rooms and lots of
I'm
staff
not-
and doctors and nurses kind of walking around.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
to
I
her
I
left,
come in the
it
other
would have been a
day,
dead end
Porter,
with a
just to get on a
single
plate.
blue door
You know, I was
with a
like, "Where's
green
everybody
exit
at?"
sign over
Well,
the top of it. And so Lynn, she
Bacon
steps
and
into the
Falco's
hallway.
over here.
She looks down the
Tater's
long
over
side to
here
the
by
right,
herself.
and she looks to the left.
You
she
know,
sees the blue door.
Waylander
and she goes to the blue
and
door.
Black
She opens it
Dot
up, and she disappears
and
inside.
eggs right
When the
here.
nurse came back to Lynn's
And they
room
said, "So
and
where
saw
do
she
you want to go,
wasn't there,
Jody?"
she
Because I said,
reported
"Somebody
Lynn
bagged
missing.
me in."
Now
He's
remember,
like, "So
the
where do you
hospital
want to
was
live?"
well
I said,
aware of the
"I want to
fact
live in
that
anybody
Lynn
in the
had been trying
desert."
to escape for the past
And
48
he's like,
hours.
"So
And
you're
nobody
coming
was
over here
really
with us?"
shocked
And
by
I said,
this.
"Yeah, that's
In fact,
fine."
the hospital, their first move was to
But
contact Mark.
I didn't know
who actually
everybody
got
was
home
so
the night
scattered.
before to get some real sleep.
Yeah,
and
we're
to take
pretty
a shower.
scattered.
And so they contacted Mark and they said, "Hey, Lynn's not here. Is she with you?"
To
And
be
Mark
honest
was like,
with you, I
"No,
don't
I'm
have
home.
things.
She's not
I
here.
just started
I
with.
have not seen
I
her.
kind of
I
invited
haven't talked
myself
to her.
in with
I have
Porter.
no
I
idea
mean,
where
with
she is."
Angry.
And so the hospital at this point
Scroto.
began this huge search in their building, just checking the entire property for Lynn.
Oh gosh,
but
it
there was
kicked
no
me from
traces.
out of the game.
And so the police were contacted, and they launched a search both of the hospital grounds and also of the surrounding areas.
So
And they too could not find a trace of Lynn. It was like Lynn just
You know,
vanished
I
into
just-
thin air.
I was like-
That is until
staying
October
here,
8th,
you know,
2013,
like playing
so
much
17 days
just
after
being
Lynn had strolled through that blue exit door. On that day, October 8th,
So then I
a
went to the
hospital
first
maintenance
base, like, in
worker
front
was
of me.
walking
Like, where we
down
gonna
the
raid
long
that base?
hallway in the hospital, not on the
base right
5th floor
there.
where Lynn was staying, but
And
one floor below.
I was
so on the
standing
4th
on the
floor.
base they were
He was
talking about.
walking down this long hallway in the direction of the dead other side, so the same side that Lynn was on, where her room was, but again, one floor above. And the maintenance worker, he walks all the way to the end of this hallway on the 4th floor.
It's like, well,
and he
Jody's got a
arrives in
base
front
now.
of the blue door with the green exit sign
I just
above it.
picked that all
Again,
up.
this is below where Lynn was, but it looks the same. And the maintenance
No way I
worker
wouldn't do
opened
this,
up the
you know.
door, and when he looked out of the 4th floor door, he
I
just
was on the game
froze
5 minutes
because
from that
what he
here.
was looking
All
at just
that.
seemed impossible. And then he had this urge to scream, but he knew there were all these patients,
make
and
it to the
kids and
fishing
doctors and
village.
stuff in the hallway behind him, and he didn't
the
want to
large
scare
one, watch out,
anyone.
there's guys
And so
running
very
around.
quietly,
You
he
know the large
reached down
fishing
and
village?
grabbed his radio.
Yeah,
and
the one
called
right
it.
down
In order to explain what happened
down the road
next,
from us.
you need to look at this picture. So in this picture, on the right-hand side, you see there are two outdoor landings with people on them. The
I
one
got
on
some
top
crappy
is the
neighbors
5th floor
over here.
landing, and the one below it, with a single person on
Like
it,
this
is the
dude don't
4th
come
floor
out of his
landing.
house
And
unless
to
he needs
get
somebody to
onto
close.
these outdoor landings, you have to walk through
my
those
stuff.
blue exit doors at the end of those hallways.
don't have guns.
These blue doors are emergency exits. And so when you go out these blue doors, once they
Let's go
shut,
down here
they
like
lock
summer camp
automatically.
bunch.
But now you're out on this outdoor landing, and immediately to your right, although you can't see it in this picture, there is actually another door that leads
But
to
it's
this
really
enclosed
not
stairwell that
terrible.
will bring you all the way to the ground floor, where there's another door that's unlocked
We must
that will
be
bring
talking
you
about
out to
different
safety.
fishing
And so
village.
again, you walk out one of those blue doors, you're on this landing, you can turn, open up another door, you're in the stairwell,
Yeah,
and you
my
can
fishing
evacuate.
village is
So,
on the
in
other side.
theory, if you were a person that really wanted to escape this hospital, like Lynn did, going out one of these blue door emergency exits was a great idea. It would bring you to the ground. This is a way to escape the hospital. But remember, Lynn was totally confused. Mentally, she was just not there because of whatever illness was affecting her. And so when she walked out that door, she arrived on the 5th floor landing, and the door shut behind her and it locked. And the theory is, as soon as Lynn got out there, maybe she had some
Like
second
that.
thoughts and wanted to go back into the hospital. And so she
Golly.
turned and she grabbed that door and tried to open it
Cornbread.
back up again, but because it locks
This guy,
automatically,
it's like,
it wouldn't
whoa.
open. And so
Whoa,
Lynn
we're
did have the
all
wherewithal to
got over
turn and see this other door that led
Yeah,
to
these
this
dudes over
enclosed
here
stairwell,
have
the emergency
turrets and
stairwell.
shit already
Didn't
on
go
their
to the
base.
ground floor. She could
These
absolutely
are
go
air
all the way
kitty
down and escape.
Yeah,
She could
yeah.
do that. She went into the stairwell and she went
Look at
down
it, dude.
one
Kitty-
floor
kitty
to the
cat,
4th
fishing
floor
village.
landing. And when she got there, she left the stairwell and she went to that door that would lead back into the hospital on the 4th floor. And she tried it, but of course it was locked. And then again, instead of her just going back into the
close.
stairwell and going down and escaping to safety, she, for some reason, just stayed on the 4th floor landing.
do.
Again, you gotta remember that she's not all there mentally, and so she was confused, and she just stayed there.
I'll be right back.
Standing, basically waiting to be rescued. But despite these huge searches of the hospital property by hospital staff and by the police, for some reason, this area, this landing on the 4th floor, was never checked. And so nobody found her. That is until October 4th. So at this point, Lynn has been outside for 13 days on this landing. And a researcher from the hospital, for whatever reason, exited out one of these emergency doors and they began making their way downstairs. And when they passed by the 4th floor landing, they spotted Lynn on the ground on the 4th floor landing. But instead of going over to her and seeing if she was okay, this researcher just called security and said, "Hey, there's a patient outside on the 4th floor landing, like come check it out." And then instead of waiting for security, the researcher just left, leaving Lynn alone. And security at the hospital, who said they were gonna go check, they didn't. And so 4 more days would go by with still nobody
that hospital's
officially
gonna have a
finding
hell of a
Lynn.
lawsuit.
And then finally, on October 8th, the hospital maintenance worker opened up the blue door on the 4th floor, and he saw the 4th floor landing, that exterior landing, and he saw Lynn, and he knew she was dead. Officials were never able to determine when Lynn died, so it's not clear how long she was alive out on that landing. But it is possible she could have been alive when that researcher found her, but obviously help didn't come in time. Ultimately, Lynn's family would sue the city and the hospital, and they would be awarded $3 million.
3 mil.
On May 28, 1986, a Florida real estate agent named Marguerite Welty walked up to the front door of this little white stucco home sitting right on the edge of Lake Placid in Florida. Marguerite pulled out a key from her pocket, she unlocked the door, opened it up, and then she turned around, and standing right in front of her were her clients, this young couple named Lois and Richard Goodman, who were thinking about buying a vacation home. And so this was one of the homes they were checking out. And so Marguerite smiled at her clients and gestured for them to come inside. The house sat at the end of a quiet, shady street lined with huge trees and other small vacation homes. And a lot of these vacation homes were perfectly manicured, beautiful, but the house they were touring today was not. It was unmaintained, overgrown, paint chipped, fading, and just looked bad. Because the owner of this property at one time had used this house as their vacation home, but lately they had just kind of stopped coming out here, and so they really never came out to check the property.
It's over.
So it definitely had the look of an abandoned property. And now the owner didn't even know what to fix use it anymore, as they decided to sell it and let somebody else do it. And so Marguerite led Richard and Lois into the house. She brought them right into the common living room, and the house was very musty and dark. All the windows were shut and all the blinds were drawn. And so Marguerite kind of instinctively walked over to the windows and began opening up the curtains and opening up the blinds, letting sunlight into the house. And so as this room is suddenly being lit up with sunlight, behind her, Marguerite hears Lois and Richard start to laugh at something. And so Marguerite turned around to see what was so funny. And when she saw what Lois and Richard were laughing at, Marguerite did not think it was very funny. In fact, she thought the fact that they were laughing right now was kind of rude, especially when we considered what this couple had asked of Marguerite. They had come to Marguerite and said, hey, we want to buy a vacation home. It needs to be perfect, it needs to be water, it needs to have this and this and this, but we have a tiny budget. Go find us homes. And so Marguerite really struggled to find vacation homes that were in their budget, but then she had found this diamond in the rough, this house on the coast of Lake Placid. It had 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, it had a garage, direct access to the water, it even had a boat dock. I mean, this house was perfect. Now, of course, this house had obvious downsides, like the fact that it was clearly a fixer-upper. I mean, anybody who bought this home would have to put a lot of work into just making it livable again. And then also, there was a distinct weird vibe about the property itself. Because the owner was never there, they had covered all the furniture inside of this home with white sheets, which kind of gave it a sort of haunted house vibe. And then also, there was virtually nothing of value inside of this home, because again, the owner was likely never here. But for some reason, there was this super intense security system on the house. I mean, there was cameras everywhere, and the windows had metal bars over them. And so the aesthetic inside and outside this house was not a good one. But again, Marguerite felt like if they could just look past the negative stuff, this was really the perfect place for them. But now, here Marguerite's clients were, laughing away at the kind of goofy interior of this home. It's like they were being totally disrespectful both to Marguerite and frankly to the owner of this property. I mean, this is a good opportunity. What are you doing? But ultimately, Marguerite couldn't force her clients to be appreciative of this. And so she just kind of laughed along with them, and very quickly changed the subject and told them, hey, let's go walk around the rest of the house. Make sure you see the whole place before you pass judgment. But Marguerite only had to lead Richard and Lois around the house for a couple more minutes to figure out they definitely were not in the market for this house. They could not look past the bizarre, kind of spooky almost atmosphere inside the house and how run down it was. So they were just not going to put an offer on this house, and Marguerite knew it. And so even though Marguerite was definitely frustrated, she told her clients, don't worry about it. I'll go back to the drawing board. I'll find more properties, and we'll check those out. And so Marguerite led Richard and Lois out of the property. She shut and locked the door behind her, and then she and her clients left. 2 days later, on May 30th, 1986, the owner of this rundown old vacation home came by to check on the property. Basically, because they were trying to sell it, they just wanted to go up and make sure there were no obviously bad things about the property. They knew it was in rough shape, but they're just doing a sanity check. And so they get to this property, they open up the door, and they step inside, and right away, the owner is hit with this horrible smell. Now, the owner knew it normally did not smell great inside this home, but this smell he was smelling now was just so bad. It was so pungent. He knew it was not normal. And so the owner began walking around the house trying to figure out where the smell was coming from. And at some point, he found himself in the living room, and his eyes happened to land on the thing that Richard and Lois Goodman had been laughing at 2 days earlier. Except when the owner saw this thing, he didn't think it was funny at all. In fact, what he did is he instantly turned around, ran out of the house, grabbed a phone, and called 911. 4 days earlier, on May 26th, a 28-year-old man named Thomas Lopez Ruiz, who was living in this makeshift campsite down by the water near Lake Placid, he decided to leave his campsite and go into town to try to earn some money. Thomas did not have a steady job. Instead, he did odd jobs in town whenever he could to earn a few bucks. But on this day, when Thomas went into town, there was no work. So Thomas decided he would go rob one of the many vacation homes along the coastline of Lake Placid. And the home that he picked is the same vacation home that Marguerite would take the Goodmans to 2 days later. And so Thomas arrives in front of this overgrown property and he tries the doors and they're all locked. However, Thomas had a plan. Thomas was a pretty small guy. He was about 5 foot 2 inches tall, only weighed about 140 pounds. And so he figured he could just slip through the chimney. That's how he could break into the house. And at first it went great. You know, he slipped in no problem. And before long, he was making his way down towards the inside of the house. But what Thomas realized as he went down the chimney is the chimney was not perfectly straight up and down. Instead, it was sort of tapered, where at the top it was wide, but the deeper you got, so the farther down you went in the chimney, the narrower the inside of the chimney got. And so when Thomas was almost all the way down the chimney, he got stuck. He could not get the rest of the way down, but where he got stuck, he couldn't grab the top of the chimney. He couldn't pull himself out. And so he is absolutely wedged, can't go down, can't go up, and making matters even worse was every time he exhaled, his chest would shrink a little bit, and that would cause him to slip a little bit farther, a little bit deeper into the chimney, and then when he would try to breathe in again, his chest would not be able to fully expand again. And so basically, every second that went by, Thomas was sinking lower and lower and lower by little bits, making it harder and harder and harder to breathe. And you got to figure that he was screaming for help, which again was causing him to breathe a bunch, causing him to sink even farther. And so it would have made breathing extremely difficult. And so Thomas is like in this absolute claustrophobic nightmare. And without outside help, he had no chance of survival. 2 days later, Marguerite Welty brought the Goodmans into that property, and she would open up the blinds, and sunlight would come into the living room, and Marguerite would hear Lois and Richard laughing at something, and she would turn around, and she would see they were pointing at the fireplace, and visible in this fireplace were 2 legs dangling down inside the chimney. They were not so far down that they were touching the ground.
Photo.
They were just kind of suspended in the air. And Lois and Richard, based on the way the house looked already, you know, the kind of spooky vibe, you know, there's white sheets over all the furniture, there are these bars on all the windows, everything is dark and dirty and kind of gross. Like there's this haunted house vibe to this place, and they're thinking, this must be a Halloween decoration or some sort of prank, you know, a mannequin kind of jammed up into the chimney, maybe to look like a robber breaking into your house or something, that the owner never took down, because clearly the owner stopped taking care of this property, and so it kind of makes sense that these decorations would be left out. And so Lois and Richard are laughing at this Halloween decoration, and Marguerite, she looks at the legs too, and also thinks they're just some Halloween decoration, doesn't think anything of it, and so finally they end up leaving, and that was it. But as I'm sure you all have guessed, of course those legs were not mannequin legs, those were Thomas's legs. And in fact, the creepiest part about this is Thomas may have been alive during the house tour. The autopsy showed he actually did not die of asphyxiation, so he didn't suffocate. He died from dehydration, which takes about 2 days, and this house tour was about 2 days in. And the day prior to the house tour, a neighbor had been outside and they thought they heard someone yelling inside of the property, but for some reason, the neighbor just didn't do anything about it. And so there's a pretty good chance Thomas was barely alive as they were touring the house. But, you know, by the time the owner came back 2 days later and smelled that horrible smell, Thomas had passed away, and that smell was the smell of his body decomposing. Also, just to close the loop on this, it's not clear why the homeowner had that really aggressive security system with the bars on the windows. He just did.
On the morning of May 26, 1990, Marlene Warren was at home inside of her beautiful mansion in Florida when she heard a knock on the front door. Marlene was busy and was hoping that her adult son might go answer the door, but when she looked over to the living room where her son was, she saw he was laying down watching TV and didn't even seem to have heard the knock on the door. So Marlene sighed and just walked over to the front door herself and opened it up. And to her surprise, standing on the other side of the door was a person dressed up in a clown costume, holding flowers and balloons. Now, Marlene loved clowns, and she had recently celebrated her 40th birthday, so she figured this must be someone's birthday gift to her, and she was thrilled.
But after the clown handed Marlene the flowers and balloons, there was this loud popping sound inside of Marlene's house, and then Marlene fell to the floor, blood pouring down her face.
So that's going to do it. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. If you did, be sure you check out our podcast called the Mr.Ballen Podcast. It has hundreds more stories you can listen to right now, and many of those stories are only available on that podcast. They are not on this YouTube channel. So again, that podcast is called the Mr. Ballen Podcast, and it's available on every podcast platform. Okay, until next time, thank you so much. See ya. Wait, don't go anywhere. If you like today's video about places you can't go, well, you're in luck, because we have a whole series of them. Click here.
I think we all tend to believe that everywhere in the world is accessible if I just had the time, the money, or maybe both. But today, I'm going to shatter that illusion and share with you a top 3 list of places you can't go, no matter how much time or money you may have. And for each of these locations, I'll share with you an instance of people going there anyways and what happened to them. Spoiler, it didn't end well. But before we get into today's top 3 list, if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious delivered in story format, you've come to the right place, because that's all I do when I upload 3, 4, even 5 times every week. If that's of interest to you, please throw the like button into the Devil's Kettle in Minnesota, and then subscribe to my channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of my weekly uploads. All right, let's get into today's stories. There is this tiny, lush, heavily forested, beautiful island 93 miles off the coast of Brazil that no matter how beautiful it looks, no one will go to this island. In fact, you're not allowed to go to it because the Brazilian Navy has forbidden it. So the legend of this island really began in the early 1900s when a local fisherman was off the coast of the island and saw right at the edge of the forest there were these beautiful banana trees with all these bananas that were ripe and ready to be picked. And he thought, I can easily pull my boat over to those rocks over there, hop out, grab some bananas, and bring them home, no problem. That'll take me, 10 minutes to do. And so he pulls over by himself to get these bananas. He anchors his boat. He walks up the beach. He climbs up the tree, and he starts hacking down some bananas. And while he's up there, he suddenly feels a sharp pain on his rib cage. And he falls out of the tree, and he looks down, and he's bleeding out of his rib cage because he can see it on his shirt. There's blood on his shirt. Was there a branch that jabbed me in the side? Like, what was that? And he's alone. He's 93 miles from the mainland, and so in a panic, he ditches the bananas. He runs to his boat, gets it unanchored, and starts making his way back to the mainland. But on the trek back, he passes out in the boat. Later that day, another group of fishermen see this boat kind of drifting around near some rocks, and it looks like something's wrong, so they make their way over to it, and there's this fisherman who went to get the bananas, but he's lying on his back. He's clearly dead, and he's in a pool of his own blood. 20 years after this incident, there was a lighthouse keeper that was assigned to work on this island, and he brought his family with him. They were staying in the main house at the lighthouse, and it was going fine for the first couple of days they were there, but at some point, captains of vessels that would drive past this island and relied on that lighthouse noticed that the light wasn't on, and so they reported it to the mainland, and a search party was sent out to check on the lighthouse keeper and his family to make sure that they had all their supplies and that they were okay. When they get to the lighthouse, they find the entire family is dead in their bed, and the only clue they had were these puncture marks all over the bodies of these deceased lighthouse keepers and an open window. So what killed these people that went to this island? Technically, they died from a poison that literally melts your organs within 60 minutes of coming in contact with it. But that poison comes from a very famous venomous snake called the golden lancehead viper that only exists on this island. They exist nowhere else in the world. And so this island has been dubbed Snake Island. And since nobody goes to this island, the lancehead viper population has exploded. They are thriving on this island. In fact, researchers say that there's at least 3,000 of these venomous snakes that live on this island, and for every 1 square meter of the island, there is a snake, which means if you're on this island, you're always within 1 meter of something that can kill you. And these snakes aren't just on the ground either, because their primary food source are birds, and so the snakes have begun to live in the trees and catch birds that land in the trees. Meaning, if you happen to be walking on this dense densely forested island, you'd be surrounded almost 360 degrees by these wickedly venomous snakes that if you are bit, you have 60 minutes to get the antidote. If you don't, you're doomed 100% of the time. Nowadays, the only people that go to this island are the Navy, who replace the batteries in the lighthouse, which is now automated because it's too dangerous to be there. They go once a year to replace those batteries. Researchers occasionally go there, and you have poachers that go to try to catch some of these snakes because they're so rare. They can sell on the black market for 10 to 30,000 US dollars. But many of these poachers that manage to sneak onto the island just get bit by these spiders and die. So there you go, karma. In early 1945, during World War II, the British decided they wanted to take back Rambri Island from the Japanese. Rambri Island is a fairly large, totally flat island off the coast of Burma that was a great staging location to fly air campaigns on the mainland. So it was a great air base. And the British had actually owned this island, but the Japanese had taken it back from them in 1942. And so here they are in 1945 looking to take it back. So on January 21st, 1945, British and Indian infantry stormed the beaches of Rambri to try to take it back. As soon as they land, they have all this naval artillery support bombing the crap out of this air base. It's just a matter of time before they overwhelmed the remaining Japanese. But the Japanese do not want to surrender, and instead they give up the air base that they were on, so the British take that back, and the remaining 1,000 Japanese soldiers started retreating to the opposite end of the island, to where there was a much larger battalion of Japanese soldiers that they could meet up with. But the only issue with this particular retreat was they would have to go through 10 miles of mangrove swamp where there's poisonous spiders and insects and deep mud, making it almost impossible to move. But they're determined and they head off into the swamp. But what the Japanese were not ready for is what Rambri Island is famous for. A creature that makes poisonous snakes and spiders and insects look like child's play. And they were walking directly into its den. The British troops decided they're not going to go chasing them into the swamp. And instead what they did is they set up boats, blocking positions outside of the swamp. If any of the Japanese tried to escape, they would be there waiting. And so the only way the Japanese could get out of there would be to go to the absolute other end, 10 miles away, where their Japanese counterparts were. So that night, as the British are just kind of hanging out in their boats, staring at the swamp, they start hearing screams coming from inside of the swamp. And it's Japanese soldiers. Then you hear gunfire, and then silence. And then it would start all over again. All over this huge swamp was just screams, gunfire, silence. Screams, gunfire, silence. And the British are watching this like, do we have troops in there? What's going on in there? What was going on in there is defined by the Guinness Book of World Records as the largest massacre of humans caused by animals. And not just any animal, saltwater crocodiles. These massive man-eating crocodiles can weigh up to 1,000 kilograms or 2,200 pounds. They can grow to be 7 meters in length or about 23 feet in length. And National Geographic has labeled these crocodiles as the most likely to eat a human of all animals. And Rambri Island has the largest population of saltwater crocodiles in the world, and they all lived inside of this swamp that the Japanese had gone into. A lot of them were bleeding from the battle they were in, and so they were literally alerting hundreds of saltwater crocodiles to their location. Saltwater crocodiles are notorious night hunters. So what probably happened is the Japanese got inside of this mangrove. The crocodiles were immediately aware of their presence, but they waited until nighttime before they started having a feeding frenzy. And over the course of the night, a number of Japanese soldiers had jumped out the sides of the swamp, exposing themselves to the British. And so about 20 of them were captured, and they said that they were completely surrounded by these crocodiles, that everywhere you looked, there were growling, huge crocodiles eating one person, and as soon as they were done, they would just charge after you and eat you. And at the end of their retreat, when the Japanese did get to the other side of the swamp, only 500 of the 1,000 made it out the other side. And so to this day, people stay far away from Rambri Island because there are so many of these man-eating saltwater crocodiles that have no issue ripping you to shreds. On November 14th, 2018, John Chow hired 2 fishermen to take him out to this little island in the Indian Ocean. The fishermen were not excited about this, not only because it was illegal to take him out to the island, but because the last time some fishermen had gone to this island, they had both died. But the fishermen needed the money, and so they went with John and they drove under the cover of darkness to this island and they anchored a little ways offshore. The next morning when the sun came up, John asked the fishermen to take him in a little bit closer, but the fishermen refused. So John puts a kayak in the water and he begins paddling into this island. And as he gets close to the actual beach, he sees someone come out of the forest with their face painted yellow, and they're screeching at the top of their lungs. And John yells out that he's not threatening them, he just wants to come ashore and talk to them. And then a wave of people with yellow painted faces come charging out of the woodline and start firing arrows in his direction. So John, in a panic, turns around and paddles right back out to the fishing boat. Later that day, John tries to make another attempt at landing on this island and communicating with the people that live there. So he takes his kayak and he goes down a little bit farther away from where those people had emerged from the tree line earlier in the day and shot him with arrows. He figured he was a little bit farther out of arrow range this way. He lands his kayak, he gets out, and the same group of people come out farther down the beach where they had been before. They see John. They all start looking at each other and they start screeching and running down the beach towards John. John stands there until they come all the way up to him. They don't shoot him with arrows, but they take his kayak, and they don't really know what to make of him. They're staring at him, and they start speaking to each other in a language John doesn't understand. And then at some point, a child pulls his bow and arrow out and fires a bow directly at John. And he was holding a Bible, and he stopped the arrow with his Bible. And at that point, John is like, okay, I gotta go. And he jumps in the water, and without a kayak, has to swim a mile to get back to the fishing boat. The whole time, these people are firing arrows arbitrarily in his direction as he swims back out to the boat. And so the next day, on November 16th, he told the fishermen he wanted them to drop him off, and he would swim in, and he wanted them to leave and be completely out of sight. The fishermen did not want to do this, but John reassured them that he was going to be just fine, he knew what he was doing, so the fishermen drop him off and they leave. The next day, when the fishermen come back to collect John, they see these people with painted yellow faces out on the beach dragging his body by a rope. No one knows exactly what happened to John, how they killed him. There's lots of speculation about how it went down, but it's too dangerous for anyone to go back and retrieve his body, and so his body remains at North Sentinel Island. The few hundred people that live on North Sentinel Island that were responsible for killing John Chow, they're referred to as the Sentinelese, and they are unbelievably primitive. They are completely cut off from the modern world. They live a hunter-gatherer lifestyle. They have no conception of agriculture. They haven't even discovered fire yet. They literally have to wait for lightning to strike and then run and collect the embers and try to keep the embers alive. Researchers believe that the Sentinelese are direct descendants from the earliest human ancestors that came out of Africa. And as much as we'd like to learn more about the Sentinelese, we probably won't, because they aggressively resist outside contact. They won't even let the other similarly primitive neighboring island tribes to come on their island. Sentinelese want only Sentinelese on that island. No one else can be there. If you're not a Sentinelese and you try to go to their island, they'll just kill you. So let me know what you think of these three crazy locations.
That's crazy.
And let me know if you could go to any of these three locations, which one would it be and why? The best answer to that question will get pinned at the top of the comment section. If you enjoyed today's story and you haven't done this already, please throw the like button into the devil's kettle in Minnesota, and then subscribe to this channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of my weekly uploads. If you have a story that you think I should cover on this channel, please submit it to our subreddit. It's linked in the description below. It's just called Mrballen. I read it every day, and if I intentionally use your submission, whether it's your personal story or just a suggested story, I will absolutely credit you. If you want to get in touch with me, you can direct message me on Instagram or on Twitter. My username on both those platforms is the same, JohnBallen416. I also post a ton of content on TikTok where my handle is Mrballen. So whether I see you on Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, some combination, just know that I really appreciate your support. And until next time, guys, that's going to do it. See ya. I think we all like to believe that the whole world is accessible to us if we just had the time or the money or maybe both. But in today's video, I'm going to shatter that illusion and share with you a top 3 list of places you can't go no matter how much money or time you might have. And for each of these locations, I'll share with you an instance of someone going there anyways and what happened to them. Spoiler, it didn't end well. But before we get into today's top 3 list, if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious delivered in story format, then you've come to the right place. Because that's all I do, and I upload 3, 4, even 5 times every week. If that's of interest to you, then please give the like button a one-way ticket to North Sentinel Island. Also, please subscribe to this channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of my weekly uploads. All right, let's get into today's stories. In the early 1990s, a man turns on his camera, flips on his light, and starts filming. As the viewer, all we can tell is that he's in this gray hallway. It's very unclear where he is. It does appear to be something that might be underground because everything seems to be concrete. As he's filming, he begins walking down this narrow corridor where there's nothing on the walls or on the ground or anywhere to give away where he is. And so for the first 40 seconds of him just walking down this kind of meandering hallway, it's very uneventful. Then at some point, he aims his camera at what looks like an arrow that's been spray painted on the wall. He looks down at the ground and there's another arrow. He starts to follow the arrows and he's filming each one as he comes across them as he goes farther and farther off of the main hallway. And at some point the arrows bring him to this room, which at first you can't tell what it is. But then as the camera focuses, you see that there's this massive pile of human remains, skeletal remains. The guy filming does not seem alarmed by what he's seeing. In fact, it seems like he came here knowing he might come across this room full of human remains. After staring at this room for a few moments, he doesn't go in, but instead turns and continues following these arrows and strange markings on the wall and the ground as it brings him farther and farther down this other corridor to more rooms with more skeletal remains. And at some point, he comes to a full stop and is looking at one of these rooms, and something spooks him. It's unclear what it is, because to this point, he's been very nonchalant about this horrible thing he's looking at. It didn't seem to faze him at all, but something did spook him, because he's standing there, and then all of a sudden he starts sprinting down the hall. Now, it's clear at this point in the video that he is alone down here, or at least he thinks he's alone down here. But he's running as if someone's chasing him. And he just takes off down this hall. The camera's now dropped to his side. He's not even trying to film what's in front of him. You hear his breathing, and it's very panicked. And at some point, he kind of trips and drops his camera, and the camera comes to rest in this puddle, looking right up against the wall. So you don't have a clear view of where this guy is or what's going on. And all you hear is his panicked breathing and his rapid footsteps as he continues to run down the hallway and eventually just disappears, and it's totally silent. And at some point, the camera runs out of batteries and it turns off. 10 years later, a group of urban explorers would find this man's camera where he had dropped it 10 years earlier, in one of the scariest places on Earth. Hundreds of feet below the streets of Paris, France, lies one of the world's largest mass graves. It's known as the Paris Catacombs, and it's about 200 miles of intricate passageways that loop all over the city of Paris, where over 6 million people have been buried. The reason all these people were buried down there is because by the 17th century in Paris, the cemeteries in the city were overflowing. And so the decision was made to move their bodies down underneath the streets of Paris into these tunnels that were built in the 13th century for mining but had not been used in hundreds of years. And so they began packing in all these people to the tune of 6 million bodies before they ultimately stopped doing that. Starting in the late 1800s, the catacombs became sort of a popular tourist destination, but only a tiny section of the catacombs was made open to the public, meaning there are literally hundreds of miles of passageways in the catacombs that are totally sealed off to the public. No one goes in there, even though many people believe in these forbidden sections of the catacombs, there are entrances to additional levels of the catacombs, that there could be as much as 400 miles of passageways in the catacombs just waiting to be explored, but no one's allowed to go in there, at least not legally. There's an entire community of people that are sneaking into the forbidden section of the catacombs by going through sewer drains and getting onto train tracks and sneaking into these little cracks in the side of the walls. I mean, it's incredibly dangerous. It involves wriggling your way into these 13th century tunnels that are unmapped, pitch black, and no one knows you're there. Not to mention, you're surrounded by literally millions of dead people. Once people started figuring out how to sneak into the forbidden section of the catacombs, there's been countless stories of these urban explorers sneaking in, getting lost and never coming out again. Which is exactly what we think happened to the guy with the camera who saw the arrows and then ran away. His camera was located miles and miles into one of those forbidden sections. In 2014, Kenny Veach was an avid long-distance hiker that spent lots of his time hiking around the Mojave Desert in search of caves and abandoned mine shafts to go check out. Sometimes he'd bring his girlfriend with him, but most of the time he was on his own and he would stay out for a couple of days at a time. Kenny was constantly on YouTube watching hiking videos and anything to do with the Mojave Desert. And Kenny was a regular commenter on all of those types of videos. In June of 2014, Kenny must have watched this video called Son of an Area 51 Technician because he had left this comment where he was telling the community that had watched this video that he had had a very strange thing happen to him when he was out hiking near Area 51. For those that don't know what Area 51 is, it's a highly confidential United States Air Force installation that is frequently looped into alien conspiracy theories. Kenny goes on to describe this strange event, and he said he found this cave entrance on the side of this mountain that was shaped like an uppercase M. As Kenny walks up to enter this M-shaped cave, he said his body started to vibrate and it stopped him in his tracks. And he said he didn't know what it was, but as he walked closer and closer, his body just continued to vibrate to the point where he said he just had to turn around and leave. That he knew something was wrong with this cave and he could not go inside. And so he said he turned around and he left. His comment got a lot of traction on this video, and a lot of people jumped on and were like, well, I don't really believe you, one, but if that is true, you gotta go back. You gotta go back there and explore it. You gotta document this. Whatever this is, we wanna know what it is. They were basically egging him on to go back and check it out. Kenny responded to his critics and said, I'm telling you the truth. I know what I saw. This cave was different. I go out in the desert all the time looking for caves, and I go in them. That's what I do. This one was different, and that's why I didn't go in it. But people just kept egging him on to go back and check it out and to film it, show documentation of this thing. And so finally he agrees. A couple of months later, Kenny goes back out to the Mojave Desert with his camera and he films himself looking for the M cave, but he can't find it. So the video's kind of a bust. He still uploads it to YouTube and he tells everyone that he's gonna go back out again. He knows where it is. He's fairly confident that he can get to it again, but he just needs to go out a third time to go look for it. Over the course of the next month, in the comment section of that video, people are encouraging Kenny and saying, go out there, go find it, we're so excited. One commenter was not so encouraging. Their name was Lemmy Killmeister, and they wrote on his video, do not go to M Cave. If you go in, you won't be able to get out again. Kenny wrote back, what do you mean? And Lemmy Killmeister didn't respond and subsequently vanished from YouTube. Kenny brushes this off, and on November 10th, 2014, he heads back out once again to try to find M Cave. On November 14th, when he had not returned and his girlfriend had not heard from him and couldn't get in touch with him, she called the police. The police launched this massive search for Kenny. They knew roughly where he was going to be because he had documented it so aggressively on his YouTube channel. And so they search in that area, and after about a week, they find his cell phone, and it was laying outside an abandoned mine shaft. Now, immediately, searchers think, well, he must have fallen into this mine shaft that was almost a vertical mine shaft. He must have fallen in there to his death. So they get a camera, and they feed it down into this mine shaft, and there's no one in there. And very clearly, no one had been down this mine shaft in a very long time. Certainly not Kenny. There were no tracks around where his phone was located, so no animal tracks or people tracks, and the phone didn't have blood on it or scratches on it. It was just sitting there with no new information. Beyond the cell phone, they had nothing else to go on, and eventually the search was terminated. And he never turned up, he was just gone out. While it's pretty easy for people to chalk up this whole M Cave thing as total nonsense and that they believe all that happened is Kenny went out into the wilderness of the Mojave Desert and ultimately got lost and died, and that's fair, I do want to offer up one thing about his description of the cave that first time he saw it. He described his body vibrating to the point where he couldn't go any further and he had to turn around and leave. The United States military uses these things called access denial systems around their highly classified installations. Anywhere where you cannot risk someone getting in, like a fence isn't good enough, they use these machines that fire beams at people that get too close. They're non-lethal, but it's like being thrust inside of a microwave. You feel hot and really uncomfortable, and you turn around and you get the heck out of there. The fact that Kenny was right near Area 51 a highly confidential area. Regardless of alien conspiracies, it's a known, highly confidential base. And he's discovering this strange cave entrance that doesn't look like other cave entrances, and he's walking up to it, describing basically what it feels like to be hit with an asteroid denial system. It makes you wonder, did he discover some secret entrance to some secret base? Or is this a bunch of crap and he just got lost in the desert and died? We don't know. But what we do know is that his search for M Cave probably ended his life. And that's why you should never go looking for M Cave. As the sun began to set on August 18, 2010, Ben McDaniel, who was 30 years old, walked to the end of the pier, put on all of his diving equipment, and jumped in the water. He slowly descended 115 feet and came to a stop right in front of a very famous underwater sign. The sign very clearly tells anybody who sees it, do not go any farther unless you are absolutely certain this is the right thing for you to be doing. If you go farther, you're probably going to die, like the 300 other people that have died doing this particular activity. He swam right past that sign and went 300 feet to the very famous underwater locked gate. Now, the only people that have keys to this are extremely experienced divers, and even they don't typically go into this area because it's so dangerous. Ben was not one of the very experienced divers that was given the key, but he still desperately wanted to get to the other side of the gate. So he's sitting there yanking on the gate, and he's getting himself pushed inside halfway through the gate, and he can't quite get it open. And another diver saw him doing this and was actually concerned that Ben was going to get trapped on the gate itself and would just drown on the gate. And so this diver comes over and uses his key, and maybe against better judgment, opened it, thinking that that was better than him getting stuck on the gate. Ben turns to look at him, gives him a nod, thank you, and he, on his own, swims into one of, if not the single most dangerous underwater caves in the whole world. It's called Vortex Spring Cave. From the locked gate, this cave extends another 1,600 feet and goes down to a depth of 310 feet. The majority of this section of the cave is mapped, but there are sections that are not fully explored because they're so narrow, where you have to literally take off your gear, wriggle through a hole, pull your gear through and put it back on. All the while you're barely holding onto your mouthpiece. And so really the full extent of this section of the cave is not known. While we don't know exactly what Ben did when he went through that gate and entered into this extremely dangerous cave, we do know that he didn't come out again. And after a couple of days and no one had seen him, they launched this massive search for him, and they combed as much as they could inside of that cave, but there were sections that they were just not prepared to search. And so he was never recovered. All they ever found were two of Ben's diamonds. As a total side note, when I was reading about the Vortex Spring Cave, it reminded me of some of the things that we did when I was in the SEAL teams. And one of my least favorite things to do is when you'd be swimming in and around ships. You would go under barges. And so a barge has a flat bottom. And sometimes they sit really close to the bottom of the ocean, where there's a little space under there where you can maneuver. And so we would go underneath these barges where there was only a few feet of clearance, and it's totally pitch black. And you're swimming in just total blackness where you're so claustrophobic. You're basically tight in this little space where you're just hoping that nothing causes this barge to sink on me. And by the time you get out the other side, it's like this huge sense of relief. And so that's why this is number one on my list, because for me, the idea of being trapped in a little tiny alcove inside of an underwater cave where you can't get out, you're running out of air, it's pitch black. I mean, that is just the absolute worst way to go. That's going to do it, guys. Let me know in the comments which of these three places you might actually want to go check out and why. I'll respond to all the early commenters, and I will pin the best overall comment at the top of the comment section. If you enjoyed today's video and you haven't done this already, please purchase the like button, a one-way plane ticket to North Sentinel Island. Also, please subscribe to this channel and turn on all post notifications so you don't miss any of my weekly uploads. If you want to get in touch with me, you can direct message me on Instagram or on Twitter. My username is the same on both platforms. It's JohnBallen416. Also, I have a ton of content over on TikTok where my username is Mrballen. If you have a story suggestion, please submit it to our subreddit just called Mrballen. I check it every day, and if I intentionally use one of your suggestions, I will absolutely credit you. So whether I see you on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, YouTube, some combination, just know that I really appreciate your support. And until next time, guys, that's going to do it. See ya. Today I'm going to share with you 3 progressively more insane stories about people who went to forbidden locations around the world and what happened to them. Spoiler alert, it didn't end well. But before I get into today's stories, if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious delivered in story format, then you come to the right channel because that's all I do, and I upload 3, 4, even 5 times every week. So if that's of interest to you, please invite the like button to go roller skating with you, but before you get to the rink, loosen all of your wheels. Also, please subscribe to this channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of my weekly uploads. All right, let's get into today's stories. In 2011, Heike Dorsch and her boyfriend Stefan Rahman were living their best life sailing southwest from the Galapagos Islands. For the last 3 years, they had abandoned their lives in the city and had moved on to Stefan's catamaran and were just sailing the globe. On August 30th, 2011, after a particular stretch where they had been at sea for 17 days consecutively without seeing land anywhere, Heike was laying down on the catamaran catching some sun when she heard Stefan yell out, "Land!" And she looked up and she saw these mountainous islands kind of coming into view just over the horizon. These were the 15 islands that make up the Marquesas Island range within French Polynesia. Heike remembers not being able to control her grin. It was like she couldn't stop smiling because it really looked like paradise, and she was so excited to land there. The Marquesas Island range were not big tourist attractions because of how mountainous and rocky they were, and the water was not that beautiful Kool-Aid blue that people expect out of French Polynesia. But for Heike and Stefan, this was perfect. They were not looking for mass market tourism. They were looking for authentic cultural contact. And it would turn out that the Marquesas Island range was perfect for this because the locals just weren't used to seeing tourists. And so before long, the locals were embracing Heike and Stefan and bringing them down to the beach for their cookouts and spear fishing with them. And even one night, they were invited into a local's home where they got to be a part of a big family dinner. After 6 weeks, Heike and Stefan had explored the majority of the Marquesas Island range, but there was still one of the 15 islands that they had not yet explored called Nuku Hiva. And so on the day before they planned to leave the island range, they decided to go check it out. When they dropped anchor in the bay that sat just outside of this island, there were no boats, there were no fishermen, there were no people, there was nothing. It was like a deserted island. And so they make their way on the beach and they see there's this trail that goes inland. Being explorers, they couldn't help themselves but walk down the trail to see what's down there. After 15 minutes of walking down this jungle path, they come to a clearing, and in this clearing is this very strange looking village that's made up of all these shacks. They can't tell if people live there or have lived there recently because to them, it just looks totally abandoned. And as they're kind of looking around, they notice way down the path beyond these shacks is one man standing in the middle of the road. He's this really big guy with his shirt off, standing next to a horse, and he's just looking directly at them. He's not waving to them, he's not signaling to them, he's just watching them. And it kind of creeped them out at first, but they decided that the polite thing to do would be to go over and talk to him because this is probably his village and they were the trespassers. So they go over to this guy and they introduce themselves, and he says that his name is Arihano and that he lives in this village. Through broken French, they're able to have a semi-normal conversation which seemed like pleasantries, and at some point Stefan just off the cuff asked this guy if he'd be willing to be his guide on a hunt. He wanted to go hunting for goats, which is something that everybody did on the Marquesas Island, and Stefan really wanted to be a part of that. And Arihano says, "Sure, I'll be your guide." Heike was a little bit caught off guard, but wasn't surprised because Stefan had been talking endlessly about how he wanted to go on a goat hunt before they left the Marquesas Island range, but she didn't feel like doing this, so she said, "You two go, I'll meet you over at the boat." So Heike turns around and starts walking down the jungle path back towards their boat, and she turns around one more time and she sees Stefan and Arihano walking into the jungle down another path, and they disappear. Heike spent the next several hours just laying out on the beach waiting for Stefan to return, but after quite a while and she hadn't heard anything, she started to get a little bit worried. And as she's starting to get worried, she hears someone yelling out on the water, and from around the corner, Arihano comes around on his boat and he's waving to her and he's yelling for her in French that there's been an accident, that Stefan's been hurt and she needs to come with him. Without another thought, Heike runs into the water, jumps into Arihano's dinghy, and the two of them drive back around the corner to wherever Arihano Hano and Stefan had been. They land at this little tiny beach that's right up against a jungle, and immediately Heike jumps out, runs right into the jungle, and she's yelling for Stefan, and there's no sign of him. He's not yelling back. She has no idea where to look, and she kept turning around and asking Ari Hano, where is he? What happened to him? And Ari Hano just wasn't really giving her a good answer. He was just being quiet. Frustrated, Heike walks even farther into the jungle. She's yelling even louder, and still there's nothing. And so she turns around to confront Ari Hano and be like, where is Stefan? What's going on? And as soon as she does, she's met with a gun right in her face. Heike immediately grabbed the barrel and tried to fight it away from him, and she could tell that he tried to fire the gun, but the safety was on, and so nothing fired. They kind of struggled with the gun, and at some point he got on top of her and just restrained her and tied her up to a tree. And then he just walked away into the jungle without saying anything. And so Heike is expecting at any moment for him to return and kill her. And she even said that she wished he had just shot her then and there, because the anxiety of waiting for whatever was going to happen was way worse. While Ari Hano was gone, Heike struggled to try to get the ropes off of her and the rope around her neck off of her, but she couldn't do it. And as she's sitting there struggling, Ari Hano would return and he would beat her up a little bit before ultimately turning around and leaving once again. Ari Hano would come back a couple hours later after it had gotten dark, and she's still there struggling to get these ropes off of her, and he would hit her a couple times before leaving again. But when he hit her, he actually managed to loosen some of her restraints, and as soon as he did walk off into the jungle that second time, she was able to get the restraints off of her wrist and her neck. Now, she had no idea where Ari Hano was, but as soon as she took one step, she saw a flashlight maybe a couple hundred meters away flip towards her, and she knew it was Ari Hano. He had heard her move. And so Heike just starts running full speed. She's stepping on thorns. She's getting slashed by all the undergrowth. She doesn't care. She is running for her life. And because it was a full moon, she could actually see the water because the beach was right next to where she was being held. And so she just ran for the water. And when she got onto the beach, she could see there was another boat out in the water near where theirs had been anchored. And when she looks at the beach, she can see that Ari Hano must have turned around because she can see a flashlight kind of bobbing its way farther and farther deeper into the jungle. Using the couple's satellite phone, Heike was able to alert authorities, who launched a search for Stefan. And initially they couldn't find him, and they couldn't find Ari Hano. But 3 days into the search, they made a grisly discovery. The Marquesan Islands are actually known for the Marquesan warriors that used to inhabit these islands up until the 12th century. And they were known for being the most aggressive cannibals in the South Pacific. In particular, the island of Nuku Hiva, which is where Stefan had just gone missing, and where Heike had just been attacked by Ari Hano. But historians believe nobody on Marquesas has practiced cannibalism since the 12th century. That practice has gone away. Well, until 2011, when Ari Hano, who was in fact a Marquesas warrior, met Stefan and decided that now is a good time to bring that practice back. Right after Heike had turned around and walked back to the beach and Stefan and Ari Hano had gone on their hunt, Ari Hano had attacked Stefan, tied him up, and described seeing his neck pulsing with fear as Ari Hano built this massive campfire that authorities said was 3 times bigger than any campfire they'd ever come across. And then Ari Hano shot him and put him in the fire. Although Ari Hano would be captured and convicted of killing Stefan, Ari Hano would never actually come out and say that he had in fact eaten portions of Stefan. It was impossible to tell from his remains how much had been consumed versus burned off in the fire. But virtually anybody who was involved in this case has their suspicions that Ari Hano had ritualistically cannibalized Stefan. In the early morning hours of February 6, 2014, a van carrying 5 men finally came to a stop outside of a farm in Norway. After a miserable, nearly 15-hour drive, these 5 men who were from Finland were finally ready to begin their real adventure. They were going to be attempting one of the most dangerous underwater dives in the world. It is called the Traverse, and it is a 2-kilometer subsurface dive from one entrance of the Plura Cave to the other. The entrance they were going to start in was inside of the frozen pond next to this farm. 2 of the 5 men had actually done this so-called Traverse before because they were the ones that discovered these 2 entrances were actually connected. But no amount of experience was going to limit the amount of physical risk they would have to take in order to complete this dive. The dive was so long, over 2 kilometers, that you actually needed a specialized underwater scooter that could propel you through the tunnel because you wouldn't be able to swim fast enough before you ran out of air. Which also meant if your scooter broke down in the middle of this pitch black underwater cave, you were screwed. The majority of the dive was going to be through this really tight tunnel where all along the ground were these limestone rocks that kind of poked up, where if you weren't careful, if you dragged your dry suit along them, you could tear it open. And then freezing water would go into your dry suit and you would die. Also, they were going to be using a diving rig known as a rebreather. So as a Navy SEAL, we used rebreathers. Basically, it takes your air and rebreathes it. So you're not breathing air into the water, you're breathing out into the system that scrubs your CO2 and then pumps it back into you. And you also combine that rebreathed air with pure oxygen, so you have a continuous cycle where you're just breathing pure oxygen. It makes for a really cool dive because you're looking around and there's no bubbles, but it's also very dangerous and your body doesn't really adjust well to having pure oxygen pumped into it. In fact, you can be poisoned from pure oxygen, and when you're diving at depth with a rebreather, on the way up, you can't just rocket to the surface. There are these things called decompression stops along the way up, where depending on how long you were at a certain depth, you need to wait at certain stops along the way back up to the surface and let your body decompress. If you don't do that and you just rush to the surface, you can get something called the bends, which is decompression sickness, and it can be fatal. Not to mention, there's a couple other nasty side effects of using a rebreather, like if you get water inside of your breathing loop, it can actually get into the CO2 absorbent that sits inside of your rig, and that can cause this acidic mixture to go back into your mouth, but you can't take the mouthpiece out because more water will get into it and it'll flood your rig and you'll just drown it. So you need to just accept that there could be acid in your mouth, and you need to either get somebody else to give you their mouthpiece or get a standby rig and breathe off of that, because there's no solution to this. You just gotta have acid in your mouth. Also, if you panic for any reason on a rebreather, you'll be breathing really heavy and your system will not be able to scrub the CO2 fast enough, and you'll have a buildup of CO2 in your body and you'll get hypercapnia, which can lead to disorientation and even passing out, which can be lethal underwater. This dive was famously dangerous, to the point where the best divers in the world wouldn't attempt it. They called it a death wish. But these 5 divers from Finland were determined and they were eager to make the traverse. So shortly after they arrived, they take a quick nap and then they get up and they're ready to start the dive. They decided to break up into 2 groups. They had a pair that was going to go down first, and then 2 hours later, the other 3 would follow. Once the first pair was in the water, there would be no way to communicate between the 2 groups. So the pair cuts a triangle into the ice with a chainsaw, they hop into the beautifully clear water, and very quickly they start descending down into this tunnel. Once they got down to the tunnel, they turned on their scooters and started heading out. After a couple of hours, the pair reached the most dangerous part of the dive, where the tunnel basically nosedives and goes straight down to about 130 meters. And as you're going down, you have to be very cautious that you're going the right way, because there's all these dead end tunnels that look exactly like the way you're supposed to go. And they go pretty far out, but if you were to accidentally take a wrong turn and go down one of these dead man turns, you wouldn't have enough oxygen to complete the dive. So it's a slow process of making sure you go down the exact right path. And then when you get to the bottom at 130 meters, there was this plate that had been left there to signify you've gone the right way. And then you turn and go right back up again, and you're pretty much at the exit at that point. But it takes quite a while to cover that last little bit because there are necessary decompression stops along the way. The first group descended with no issues and didn't get sidetracked.
What up? All right, so I guess we're all moving back to the desert.
I don't know. If y'all want to, I don't care.
I mean, I'm living at X21 until everyone figures out what's going on, because I have a little base down and...
I mean, I don't like the desert. There's some pricks getting around here, you know.
I don't think Bacon's moving, though. Bacon's staying where he's at. I know that, so...
Yeah, it's not going to really affect anybody, though.
Yeah, I'm just chilling. Ooh, 150 scrap for...
I like them anyways. Bacon, I'm just playing. You want me to move over to you, Bacon?
I didn't hear a word you said, dude.
I said nobody likes you anyways. You hear that one?
Oh yeah, I know.
Jesus!
I know.
I love playing with Bacon.
I like playing with him too. I hate that he's so quiet.
I'll move up there with you, Bacon. I just gotta get a freaking way to move my stuff. Which I can have Rat help me out.
It's all good. I
don't want to be by myself.
Y'all don't do anything with me. I'm just chilling. I'm just living my best life.
I am allied though with my neighbors. That's
a plus.
a bit of protection.
I just feel like
They
if we
would
live here, the people that walled off that mining thing, they're gonna raid everybody around them eventually, and we're the closest to them.
Yeah, so I mean, could try the desert with Way, or there's a good spot down here. Where is it? It was
Up.
free. Where did I mark it? Oh, W19 or W18, that sandy water patch. There's nobody there. That was a nice flat spot.
Like, there's a large fishing village right here beside of us.
I've been doing my treasure mission.
There, there's I mean, guys around here are not very friendly. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, they shoot me all the time, but I never.
I'll have a tier 3 by the end of the night.
But if y'all are all over here, they would have to, you know, weed out and arbor them. By a lot.
I just don't want to even focus on getting a tier 2 until I figure out where the hell I'm gonna live.
Well, that's like us. I mean, I'm pretty much.
Come
living with Tech.
Come take a look at each area. Go look at Way's spot. Come look down here.
I mean, I don't think it's a bad spot. I think that, you know, like right now, if you wanted to build a base, there's a base between these rocks that you could take over and build.
Right where
Right
I'm
now.
standing though, like this place, this is a really good flat open spot. I could stream it really quick too, but
What
Where
is
you
rat? Is rat around that area?
Rat's at M21, and he said that we could build over there because they basically cleared out all the big bases, so they're kind of controlling M21 area. And I told them, I said, if I get raided, I don't mind moving up there with you guys. I mean, we'll definitely have protection up there.
Where's that?
M21.
Oh yeah, see, they're just on the other side of launch from us.
Yeah, they're in a good spot. There's a lot of action over there.
Yeah, if I ain't mistaken.
That would be a good spot to start.
That's probably where I hear all. I don't know about a good spot to start.
Well, I mean, it'd be,
But-
you could get some help getting a base going. Like, people are around to.
I can run over and look. I mean, I'm not that far away.
Yeah, go take a peek.
It's almost dark. I'm gonna mark him 22. Yeah, that's where all the booming comes from.
Yeah, they've been raiding all day long. He said he's gonna give me a lot of shit here again soon, so we gotta actually get a base down if we wanna inherit our inheritance.
Boys. Oh, let's see here. I was saying if I didn't even get there before I get shot or ate by wolves. I wonder if that's their place right there. No, that's lunch. Oh my, that's over here by excavator. Do they control that?
I'm not sure. Actually,
Somebody's there beating on something.
I have a bag over there, though. I could bag over there and bag you guys. They bagged me at their base.
I mean, there's a recycler. There's a road. I mean, I'm pretty much fishing to die, but let's see where I'm at. I'm getting close.
I'm gonna go back to my base, kill and respawn over there, and bag you guys. Take a peek. Or you can watch my stream and I can go over.
I mean, I'm just running over here to see what it's all about. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's died turrets, but I mean,
This spot is so fucking flat.
like,
You guys got compound walls yet?
Hell
No.
no.
You asked him to
I'll be
raid
getting stone
You got-
walls
There's a guy
tonight.
doing over
I'm
there.
almost to them. That's what I mean. That's what I'm doing now. So I'm down to stone wall.
Yeah. I've been freaking on here all day just stressing out trying to get this scrap.
Oh, I'm getting rads. I'm not even close to it. I'm not even close.
And it's dark as hell and I'm in the jungle, baby. Ah! Playing the radio. Good job. Maybe it'll scare some animals away.
Somebody's popping at somebody.
Stop.
I get shot, so scared the crap out of me. Oh, that's a turret.
Oh.
Let's just stop right here. Let's just stop right here for until daylight.
I'm in a tree hiding from a freaking panther right now, dude. Found a satchel and learned that, which is want it all learned. I made some scrap teas. We can get those going.
Whoa, that's cool.
Did you see that lightning?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I ain't never
I'm in the
seen
tree. That lit up the whole jungle.
Oh,
Ah!
that's crazy. I don't think I'm too safe. I don't know if I need to be running around. I mean, look at the size of that place. Yeah, this is where all the big clans are, I'm sure.
Just
I don't know how. I don't think we'd be safe at all. I mean, just to be honest with you.
What?
I mean, I don't think I'm gonna be very safe at all. Over here.
You should get on, Kevin.
Yeah. Yeah, come get some rats.
Well, diesel.
You need to.
Oh gosh, I'm being poisoned.
I have scrap teas. We can go out on a boat. It's not a lot of scrap like it was before.
He feels the same way I do.
He said he doesn't know what to do.
Well,
Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm kind of just lost on what to do.
Yeah.
Like, I got a bunch of shit. I got like 700
Do you?
scrap, fucking 3,000 metal frags.
Where's your base right now?
Well,
Right here, beside bacon and all of them.
Oh.
Get your blueprints. I mean, that's all you do. And then you find out where you live. At least you.
Why don't you guys try to go talk to the neighbors? See if you guys can be allied.
We tried talking to the ones that mined, or they walled in that whole little mine thing over there. But they just said, they're like, we'll stay away from fucking with y'all, but it's Rust. I mean, we're not gonna stop
So they don't
killing
give a
y'all.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that. I wouldn't live near them.
And like I said, I don't
I
even
mean,
want
you
to focus.
can
I was
start where
gonna,
Way is.
yeah, think about getting all this main shit.
The thing with
from
over
this
by
base.
Way is he's not on a lot when we're on, so it's like kind of still alone-ish. But I mean,
I can't get up this rock.
it's not bad where I am. This is where I started day one. And I got a lot of allies over here now. We can do the treasure mission, the trains over here, take it to places. It's not bad. Shit ton of trees. There's nodes next to the train yard.
Come on, let me up here.
Yeah, I'll make a crossbow and go run the transit. See if I can get some blueprints.
Alright. I'm just about. Oh, I'm in M2. I mean, so. Let's see if I can find. Where did you say his base was?
M21.
M21.
Where all the M12. Sorry, where all the shops are.
I'm dead.
Where?
I mean, you said M21. M12 is way up there. Not even close to where. Not even close to where I'm at. See where I'm at on the map? M21.
Don't worry. I'm gonna get you bagged in there. Let me get you bagged in. Let me.
God, I was like, this place is a disaster over here.
M12.
I'm getting killed by pigs.
Let me
I just
message,
found a shotgun trap. That's what I
I'll be right
needed.
back. Is Johnny and him still here?
Okay. Who? The
Kill my boy.
university.
That was the dumbest run I've ever done. M21, I was like, no, M12. And I'm like, M12.
If I can make it back with a shotgun trap, I'm in business.
Hell yeah. Them things are good. Look, it's times like this that I mean we're probably on too big of a server for what we do.
Nah,
Well,
we
probably
are the
only
OGs.
200 when I got on.
Or was it?
Yeah.
It's going down because of all these. They're weeding out. These big guys are weeding out.
I mean, I don't mind the spot that we're in right now. I mean, it's plenty of stuff around. I mean,
I think the blueprint
not
thing
gonna
fucked
last.
it all up. Like, cause I wouldn't even care about. I'm like, oh, I got enough. I'll just go grind some scrap, make a tier 2. I don't care if I get rated, but if I had to live,
oh yeah,
now I'm like, oh, I gotta go find 5 blueprints, and then if I get rated, then if I live somewhere, if I get rated, I can go live somewhere else, get 500 scrap, get a tier 2 again. But now it's like, oh, you gotta go do the blueprint thing all over again.
yeah. It's made it hard for the first.
Ah!
Casual.
I
Made it
mean,
hard for the casual players.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
It's like,
I don't know what. I'm sorry, I can't get you a dick. Okay, I don't have anything to give you. All right.
What?
so
My cat's horny. She needs something, but I don't have anything for her, so she's gonna have to get over it.
yeah. I mean, that's I even tried. I got on last night, and I was like, I'm gonna make a base. I wanted to be in the desert because I like the desert. That's where them guys were, so I just jumped in with them. I didn't build a base. I just kind of just invited myself in with Peg and.
W18, I'm telling you, it's a good spot.
Is it
That
W?
lake.
No, I don't care.
Or X18, W18. I mean, it's
I
a
don't
big
follow
enough
it.
spot for literally all of us. Not bad. And it's flat as hell.
What is it, W18? That's way over.
Yeah.
I like the
It's
desert.
kind of in between us, but
Yeah. I mean, I just like the desert because I like to get my nodes and my stuff. And, and not have to just really search for it. I mean, because once you make your initial base, wood is not that hard. You know, it's just scattered.
The desert. I fucking can't stand the desert. It's so hot. You dehydrate quick. There's no food, no trees. Always sweaty as hell. But I mean, I might put a TC down over there at X.
I mean, there's a
18.
spot between two rocks right now, right in front of us. I'm on the TC, so.
Yeah, but I don't know if I want to be near those dudes that blocked that off. I don't trust them if they said that.
Blocked what off?
Whatever Porter said that they blocked off.
Oh, that's not in the desert. That's in.
Yeah, that's where you guys are now. Yeah.
Yeah. Get some wood. I ain't got nothing else to do.
Do we know if
Yeah,
these transit scientists have a chance of spawning the blueprints?
The regular scientists drop blueprints, but I don't know which ones you're looking for.
Not just a tier 2 one.
The basics? Yeah, the regular scientists drop them. I got one off the
Shit.
scientist I killed on the road. He just dropped it immediately. I was like, wow, that was easy.
Right?
Porter, is that you over on the zip line?
No, I'm down underground fighting these scientists.
Yeah, you can kill any of the normal scientists and get the blueprints. And I have one if you need it.
I'm heading back to make shotgun traps for my base.
I'll also have a tier 3 down here tonight, you guys. Just let me. Put it in my...
Let's see here. Let's see, what's it look like up here? There's a base there. It's a small or 2x1.
This dude is juking my arrows.
Oh, that's the. Tea shop.
Chop some of the trees out here. Quick.
I guess I could build right up here and be fine. I have a little base up here.
What the fuck was I looking for? I just forgot. Oh.
No. I'm surprised y'all ain't raided this wood base over here.
Hatchet.
I ain't got no fucking mollies or anything.
That dude's over there just sniping out of his tower.
Ow, dude.
Bacon was pretty close to an oil refinery to cook some crude.
I've got it up.
Yeah. You have crude oil.
I've got like 1,500 low grade right now.
Holy fuck. Times that by 3, because that's how much you get per crude oil. So 1,500 times 3. That's insane how much low grade you're gonna have.
No, I've got 1,500 low grade.
God damn.
No, I burned my crude. I'm burning it now, actually. That don't sound good.
Nope.
No, he's over in this little castle.
Is a refrigerator tier 2?
It's a engineering workbench.
Oh.
They got the mini fridge now, don't they?
Yeah. It
I
don't
don't
take
see
much
that
to
on a
unlock.
tier 1 though. I could
It's
get
engineering.
Yeah. I gotta Jeez.
That's funny.
Then wood. Let me make that. Food's about to expire.
I don't even know why I'm doing this. I mean, I guess because I'm bored.
I'm gonna place you guys a bag just down here so you have one down south.
I'm thinking I might move down there or something. I don't know.
It's not bad. Come take a peek. I'll bag you in.
Tired of getting beat up. Oh my gosh, there's a pig and 2 tigers. I will not come back over here, Porter. Your cats are out again.
I got them
You got
trained,
cat.
man.
That's exactly right. Go over and get them wood and stuff off my body. They're out inside the jungle there. I'm in-
Damn,
I'm-
the engineering workbench has all the good stuff. Let's
I
see.
mean, gosh, they ain't coming back.
Fridge.
Going to my
Oh, I'm only 15 scrap away from the fridge, which I think I have.
Alright.
I'm proud of myself. I worked hard today.
Oh man, I feel like
Got a medical syringe.
there you go. Research that bad boy.
Yeah. Can't make them, but
Daylight, storming.
Yeah.
where are you? Where are your your base is right there, X-21. Guess we did have a lighthouse right there.
Yeah, I'm at X21. It's still near that spawn beach, but there hasn't been any randoms. I mean,
I got 2,000.
I think it's kind of died down a
low
little
grade.
bit.
Right now, I'm still cooking.
Bagged everybody in, I think. Did I bag? Yeah.
Where'd you die at, Hooper?
Right inside. I think
Damn, they walled that whole thing in. That's crazy.
Like if there's a metal, I mean a stone node. I think I was hitting it. Stupid pig come over, and them cats might have drug me off.
There's 3 fucking tigers.
I told you your cats were out.
Oh my god.
Frig that.
That's fucking wild.
I mean, these animals are back. Look, I'm in here. Oh my god.
That dude's got a bolty already in that compound.
What's that dude shooting at me? Jesus Christ.
He just shot at you with a bolty, dude. What the fuck?
And somebody put
we're raided, bro.
somebody put somebody put spikes down beside my base.
Oh, I don't think I made it to the safe zone.
Alright, I don't know. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move.
Well, we're in D21, and it's I don't know if you like the desert, but if you don't like the desert, I wouldn't come out here. But it don't seem that bad.
I'm just gonna grab some low grade boat down to where Tater's at.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the bag right now. I'm gonna go check it out.
Rubber band. And
That's got that lightning and
I
stuff.
just don't know.
can't open my door.
There's a road right there, so.
That's where I've been getting my scrap.
Yeah, but you got what, train yard right there too? Which I don't like train yard.
I just got killed by a guy with a bow, but he took off afterwards.
I'm lagging so bad I can't even open my door.
You got the gas station across the way there.
I'm lagged out again. This is crazy.
Get
I
it.
am too.
Fuck it, I'll have a base down there, base up here.
Right?
That's what I thought about doing. Is you get a couple bases around y'all and just.
Chat's silent. That means it's lagged out. Just wait for it all to
Oh,
pour in.
they're talking now. They're like, is everybody lagging?
Oh, there it goes. Holy fuck. Yeah, I'm gonna come down there. Is there a lot of
This
bases
is
around there?
insane. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a big one behind me, but I'm allied with them. They don't kill me. And then there's a little base across the water where I'm allied with them too. And then, other than that, they're pretty small.
Oh, yeah. I was like, damn.
Like the big base behind me, they made me my oil refinery. They made it for me. I gave them the stuff for it. Pretty cool.
I don't know what to do.
All right, there we go. Goddamn kid with a bow pisses me off.
It drops on kick. What is kick?
It's like a streaming service, like Twitch.
Oh.
But
Is it on my
you might
board?
want to watch it because the green Hazzy's coming out.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
I might
it's
watch
like a
that.
green hazmat suit.
New streaming site. Wow, which streamer's putting this one out?
It's not new. It's owned by Aiden Ross, or was owned by Aiden Ross. He sold it, I think. But it's like
Guy out here cutting trees down. Where's my bow?
it's less
too
strict
late.
than Twitch. Like the guidelines and shit. Like you can say controversial shit on there without getting banned.
Right. Alright, let's see here. Let's check this place out.
I mean, we do have water down there. We can make farms. Train yard's not bad, actually. Like, well, no, that train yard's the one where the bots spawn. So yeah, we can go get blueprints from over there. Just
Tater, is
killing
this
all the
your,
scientists.
Base right here that you're talking about?
This is my little base right here.
Yeah, I know.
And then that one
Yeah.
over there, I'm kind of allied with, but they don't really have microphones.
We got
Yeah.
raided.
They killed me the first day, and then they
Right,
stopped.
y'all got
They were
raided
fine.
again?
And then-
our raid base got raided.
This big base behind me right here,
Yeah.
I'm cool with them now. They're allied with me. It's Crow and their friends. But they were pretty cool. And then the rest of them, I'm not sure. I don't know whose T-base this is or what that is. That was built this morning.
Right.
But other than that, that's
really?
about it. The guys up on the hill above you, I was allied with them, but they were raided last night. It wasn't fully raided though, actually. I need to go check on that.
There's some goodies for me.
Yeah.
But they had outer TCs too, so I couldn't pick any of the lockers up. I want the lockers. But other than that, I don't know anybody else. All the rest are just smaller. Yeah, they didn't finish it though. Like, what's behind here?
There's that locker.
Damn, there's boats
Yeah,
all
I
over
know.
the place.
Oh gosh.
Like, what's behind this door? There's still stuff to get through, but there's outer TC, so I think it's just gonna sit here.
Yeah. I was gonna go get you your shit, Peter, but then we went to go raid. Fortunately, we lost the raid. Not because the guys were good at defending, or it was online. But mainly because fucking an 8-man full of AKs came behind and just rocked into base. So.
Oh, fuck. That's crazy.
Dude, being out here in the storm and on the water, holy fuck.
The waves get fired.
Yeah.
Can you type in chat way?
Oh.
Yeah. Or Walker, yeah, sorry. Tater, you said someone needs to be tagged over here to check out the area.
Yeah. If you can look up Welker. I don't know if it'll pop up for you.
Yeah, I tagged
Walker.
I kind of like it.
Well, let's see. Are we gonna move up there by Rat now?
I mean, sounds
Look
like
at this area, though. This is a
sounds
good
like they need
spot.
help.
This is a good spot right where I'm standing, too.
Back in a bit.
Oh, there's a fucking tugboat.
Okay.
If you're gonna end up moving over here, then there's no point on giving you loot, over there. You know.
I don't know. I kind of like it over here.
It's pretty quiet down here too.
I think I'm going to stay over here until I get raided, so.
No, you're gonna get raided, and then you'll be like, well, that's it for me for the wipe. I'll see you guys next month.
Well, no, because then I'll have some blueprints. I have a little bit of blueprints. What the frick is this?
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
He sounds a little upset that they lost a lot of their stuff.
Coming up the river on a boat.
You can come up the river on the boat? Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. We should make just a little tunnel so we just go right through the middle of it.
Somebody's building like a, not gonna be for long, somebody's building a like bridge base like you're doing.
Oh. Oh, I see you. Are you on a jet ski?
No.
Pick me up.
Oh, it looks like it. Like, it's pretty wide open over here, and it's a good area
Alright.
to escape. Yeah.
I just wanted to
Wait,
free
pick me
ride.
up. Hold on, Porter. Even though that's
Get
my
her-
bridge over there, but hold on.
You stuck? You get these
I'm
rocks?
waiting for Tater.
No,
Oh, she's
he's
waiting.
getting me.
Oh, okay.
So you're friends with the people up on top of the hill?
They were raided last night, but I'm friends with the big base that you'll see it up here. It's gonna be to the left. It's on Spawn Beach. It's the big base.
So whose base is this?
This T-base was built this morning. I'm not sure. I haven't seen anybody here, but it's been progressing, which is weird. So
There's a guy on top of your base too? One on
it's
the
probably a
boat.
friend. Oh shit,
No, he's not he's not a friend.
He's not friend.
dude! What are you doing? What the fuck? What the fuck is this? Get the big group out here.
Oh no, he killed me.
Who the fuck is
I
that?
should have, I ran up on him with a fucking, damn.
What?
Group? Girl?
Well. Oh, Bacon, did my base get raided up there?
I have no idea.
My bag is gone.
Oh, I ain't got a clue, bro.
Did you hear any boom?
No.
Oh no, it's
Not around me.
Bandit. It's the Bandit clan dudes. Oh,
Who the fuck is this?
That's the
Over
dude
here?
that had that hella bio last wipe that we were reading.
Oh no, October.
Fuck.
No.
And they know my name. I know they know my name.
What?
Ah, shit. Hey, what? The
It's me outside. Nobody's out here. They took the boat and ran.
What if they must have really? It must have been the wrong place at the wrong fucking time.
There's a lot of shooting going on right here.
Yeah, my
This place-
base is raided.
Already?
What?
Yeah, just the time of me leaving on the boat and coming down
You
here.
see,
my
I
base is
knew it.
gone.
Oh, you gotta be
my
kidding
bag
me.
is gone.
Oh,
That's
no,
fucked up,
I mean,
dude.
Damn it, dude! I had like fucking 1,000
I
scrap
wonder
in
if
there.
I went there. No, I guess.
But did I accidentally pick up my bag on accident and not put it back down? I don't think so.
What rat's got going on over here? See,
I'm
that's
putting a door on this so they don't break my bike.
Bacon, run out there naked. See if my base is raided.
Oh, he's in a
Alright.
cool.
Which
he's
one
in a
are you?
cool spot.
I'm like the one down towards the power thing.
Okay.
I mean, this is where you want to be, is over here. I mean,
There's a lot of shooting going on. I'm getting shot right now.
Yeah, I think
I
my
just
base
got
is
shot.
toast.
Yeah, those
Is that
kids
rat?
dipped. I think they were just. I think it was literally just the wrong place at the wrong
no
time.
rat.
Four slant shot me with a Tommy.
Angry,
Yeah,
can you
spawn right
like
here.
rat?
Back in
Yeah, I'm
chat?
having right now. Yeah, for
Yeah,
rat.
give me a second.
Did I give you a bag, Porter?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, good. Where's my? I
Look,
need to skin these bodies. I need the head wall going up.
look, there's a whole field over here that
Hey.
take it off.
You can come inside. The code's the same as everyone else. 1555. Not
Look.
anything crazy.
I'm not gonna. I mean, if we could, you know, assist them in some ways, and this is, I mean, they're on a river. There's a whole big field right out in front of their base that we could compound in. I mean,
Like-
it's, I'm just checking this out. There's a little base on the hill, but
What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, my skinning.
Some of these bases are crazy big already.
yeah, that's. I'm putting another bag down.
There we go.
Hey, is my base raided?
Oh my god, I just found a laptop. I've got to get back.
Hell yeah.
Not sure I can check real
I'll
quick.
never make it back.
All right. Anybody else want to be bagged over here?
I already have a bag over there.
I can make a turret if I can get back with this thing.
Oh, you know what? I think I picked up my sleeping bag and never put it back down.
Hopefully.
Let's see here. I mean,
I don't hear any boom.
Oh, it's rubber banding. No.
Yeah.
I
Fucking
can't open
A.
the door.
Is somebody doing this? Because it hasn't done this at all.
Oh no, dude! I've got a laptop on me out here.
I can build right up here.
Ah. Fuck.
Yeah, I think it's
Oh,
froze.
we're stuck.
Black
This
tar.
is not good.
Don't kick me out again.
Hey, but when we come back, can you throw me a bag down up there?
Yeah,
Or a
I gotta
bag?
get in my base first. Come on.
Damn.
Oh no, it was still. Yeah,
It's still lagging. I ran like
Yeah, I
all the
can't.
way across the map.
Yeah.
That's just gonna rubber band me all the way back.
that's what it's doing to me right now.
There we go.
Come on, come on. Oh, come on, man. I'm close.
Okay.
Yeah, just put a bag down for me up there. I'm not
Got
putting
it.
it all the way up there.
Got it. Alright, time to craft a turret.
You got the turret blueprint already?
Yeah.
Damn. You got a tier 2?
Yeah. Yesterday.
Rat's giving me a tier 3, so that's why I don't.
Where did you get your blueprints from, Bacon?
I was grinding yesterday
He's been
all
He's
day.
been grinding
I know
all
that.
day.
I'm saying like how? Like killing scientists or
Mm-mm.
Yeah, no,
I
your
was at
base
the
is
right
good.
place at the right time.
what's that mean?
Right place at the right time. That means there was a poor little guy.
The blueprints. Where did you get the actual blueprints?
There was a poor little guy who had them, and I needed them worse than him.
Oh, you
You
kill
killed
him?
a guy with 5 blueprints on him?
There was a guy, a poor little guy.
Holy fuck.
And I had some from the military crates.
Where are you getting the military crates at?
I got one now, but it's just I got a basic. That's all I got. I found a military crate that kept respawning on top of one of the power lines.
And it disappears. It's like rubber bandy almost, or robot-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that too.
I mean,
Hey, put me a bag down up there, please.
yeah,
No, mine's back in bad too.
check for updates.
Look, I think this spot. Get like fungus.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. but
It's
you
just
sound
it's
all
a server.
roboty.
It's a voice glitch or something.
I'm making you a bag now.
I love you.
Close this.
I mean,
There you go.
we got some
Nice.
what's up here. I got so much food. I ain't had full health since I started this game until now.
That's
I
what
mean,
you
I'm
get.
over here.
In the desert too.
I mean, well, I ain't had a bow or nothing. I ain't had nothing to kill nothing. But I could have made it.
No cloth to make a bow.
No ball. I mean, I got 180 cloth right now just running around looking for sorry. I mean, I'm just being honest. I think I'm gonna put something.
Is this your base, Tater?
Yeah, my little tiny base. You can go in it. It's just a little.
I'm just waiting for the bag time.
Just same code as it's 1555. It's not special.
Whoa.
I need garage doors,
Already got
which
teas.
I need to have him bring them. Yeah, I'm making them. Making some teas.
Hard over here.
Democrats piss me off.
Oh gosh.
I think it's number.
Oh god. He's coming after me. I seen ya.
Team passage.
I seen him creeping. Creeper.
Oh, Jesus.
Damn,
that?
still 140 seconds on that box. Yet.
Angry?
That's crazy.
What you got, buddy?
This is their base right here.
Yeah, I kind of figured that was theirs.
I'm gonna go do that treasure mission again.
Well, there's a guy up here running around. There's a road back on that back side of that field right there.
Hmm.
And I thought about building right over there, but I'm thinking about actually building back here on this rock.
All right.
But I mean, I like it over here. There's plenty of pumpkins.
Yeah, you like them pumpkins, boy?
I like them pumpkins. Some corn. That dude's probably going to shoot me in the back, but
Yeah, I ain't got nothing to defend right now.
yeah, I don't either. They all got
No.
That's up there at that monument.
Oh, was that your body? I got your head on the wall now.
But
I am pissed I lost my salvage axe.
Black Dot's over here chilling. Quarter head on the wall. Wall of shame. Oh shit, your head's on here twice. Let's go.
let's build a freaking axe. I don't have enough.
I got
stone.
2 salvage ice picks I found. And I'm scared to take them out.
Yeah, until you get guns.
If he brings me he should be bringing me my care package here soon, within the hour, and I'll have some guns too.
Care package.
He's flying me in a care package.
I mean, I don't know why y'all ain't built over here beside him. I mean, it's all flat. Yeah,
Well,
I just don't know how I'm gonna get all my stuff over there.
A lot of big clans over here.
Is there? I think so. I mean,
Oh yeah,
I haven't looked over there. Is it flat?
that's
Yeah,
flat.
it's
It's
flat.
fairly flat. Yeah,
yeah.
there's a lot of room for
I'll have
other
to take a
bases, but it's
I'm gonna run to this ranch and do the treasure. I'll
it's
go look over there.
sketchy. It's a lot of big bases.
You think so?
I'm raided.
What?
Yeah, the second I left on my boat.
They
Yeah,
raided you within 5 minutes?
Yeah.
They get through what, one door and that was it, or
No, it's 2 doors. Or 3 doors, actually.
That's fucked up.
I didn't hear any boom when I was out there. So
He had 700,000 to 1,000 scrap in there
weird.
too.
Yeah. That's crazy. They must have been watching me
They must have been.
as soon as I left on my boat. Bro, what's the point of you doing this? I'm naked, you fucking moron.
Shut the fuck up, faggot!
I had a guy shoot at me earlier, and I turned around and said, "What are you shooting at?"
Damn, dude. No
You're
way.
fucking weird, dude. People are
I
weird.
think the people that just killed me just died. Some bacon shotgun trap. Damn, dude. Y'all
Fucking
didn't hear
lagging
any-
again.
Y'all didn't hear any booms? Bacon?
I know I didn't hear any when I logged in, so they must have been through by the time I got there.
Great.
Yeah, it was before you came on, Peg, because his bag was gone
Mm.
before you joined.
Damn.
Rat's filling up my care package right now, you guys. Let's see what he gives us. This lag is just bullshit. I'm sick of this shit.
How much stone you got, Welker?
Well, I'm lagged out, so
Oh.
185. But I'm fixing to have a lot more. Why, you ready to build something?
This is
Yeah,
insane.
I found
You found a good
a
spot?
pair of NVGs in this box right here.
did you?
Well, just sitting in a box. And an
I
axe.
mean, I don't know if I'm. Oh, I just logged out. I mean, this makes like the fifth time. I think I'm
So
about.
many people are like, I'm done with this server. Who wants my base? I'm fucking logging out.
I mean, it's like the fifth
I'm
time.
about to go back to a fucking solo only server.
It's insane, man.
Oh.
You go look at this solo. What is that pop looking like?
It's probably a lot better than this.
Alright, he's leaving now.
Yeah.
Oh fuck!
I hear his
Huge
chopper.
ass base down here.
All right, let's see what we got.
Fucking hazmat
Yeah,
right
it
there.
is. Lone wolf fucking servers. Got no BP wipes too. Like, yeah, let's go.
Shit.
That means I should still have BPs on here. Oh.
Damn.
All right. How much? I got 1,000. I need some wood. I want about 2,000 wood, probably. 3,000.
Yes, there you go.
See where my treasure's at.
What are we doing?
What's it look back here behind it, Peg?
Oh, my
Open.
treasure's at Oxum's. Oh
Is it?
god.
Another little rock.
Yeah, I like it.
Ain't no fucking way I'm gonna get to Oxum's without dying.
So how long before I'm rated, Peg?
It's gonna be immediate.
You think so?
Yeah, with them living here like that, unless he can wall us in, it'll be rough.
I don't even know why I hit that node.
Nothing over here to do.
Yeah, I mean,
Rad Town.
hit this rock, then I won't build.
I don't even know where I want to live.
Hmm.
Let's see here. Do I want to build between these two? Oh, it'll jump on top of my base. I really like over here at this rock, like between this rock right here. But I'm afraid it might be too close to rat.
Ladies, what's going on? Well, I got a nice big inventory over here. I tried looking for the DBs and P2s, but I only found some P2s. So.
Right? Who you got driving over here?
the helicopter that'd be beat. I don't know what's going on with them.
Beat just crashed.
Hold on, I gotta switch servers real quick just so I can talk to this guy because it's really loud. Hold on.
All right.
I hope he doesn't kill me.
You're gonna die and then come back and be like, what the fuck?
Right?
Fuck.
What's up? What's going on?
You know these two little rocks? Oh gosh, dang it. Gosh.
Oh, the two rocks directly right next to us?
Yeah, if I build between them, is that gonna be a bad thing?
Do not build in it. I was actually about to go take it over for ourselves.
Oh, okay.
So normal. So see, we're fine with you guys coming over here, hanging around, you know, all that good jazz. Just the problem is since we're in our own UI, right?
Mhm.
And you guys
You
are
won't
like
know.
probably your max UI. It's gonna be a lot of killing, and it's gonna be a lot of stressing yourself out because you're like, oh, is that one of them? Oh, I didn't shoot. I died because of it. You know. So I'm like, if we can avoid it starting from the very beginning, that's the best for us. You know?
Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, you know.
Yeah, because like you were like, oh, yeah. That's why I was like, you know,
Yeah.
better get that out of the way because let's say you pop a T and then you die because you're like, I don't know who that is, and you're like, fuck, now you owe me a T, you know.
No, you don't owe me nothing. I mean, that's, I die. That's part of Rust. But
yeah.
I was just trying to
Figure it out beforehand.
Well, I was trying to figure it out where I'm close enough where y'all know who I am. If you see me come outside, you just won't run over and just smoke me right off the bat. You know
we tend to be like at least a grid away from each other, grid and a half, just because it avoids that like, oh, is that them, you know, or not. And we with our old neighbors before they, you know, tried messing with us, pretending it wasn't them grubbing beat. Because okay, and they were like, "Oh, that wasn't us," but we found all the shit that they stole from him, in their base when we raided it. So, you know, it's like how you gonna well, in all fairness, Beat also raided them to begin with, because I guess one of their teammates wouldn't stop fucking door camping us, so Beat, you know, took it upon himself to raid them at ungodly hours. Yeah, and then, you know, I mean, that's kind of on them though. Like, why come door camp? You know. But it wasn't online though, because they also, you know, didn't sleep.
Right.
So,
I ought to build right here.
Where's right here per se?
Well, I mean, well, it's an old base in like H14.
Oh, H14. Oh, that's far away. That's definitely far enough away.
I can see your base from here. I mean, it's.
No, you meant N14, not H14.
Oh yeah.
Oh, N14. Oh, and we don't. Believe it or not, we don't really go that way, so that would still work out. Although, our we have two neighbors that we've known for a while. They live right there on the river at M14, so you might fight them a lot, if anything, because they will kill you or you know whatnot.
Yeah. I thought you said it was quiet over here. You liar.
Well, they moved into the area today too. I was like, hot damn, everyone's moving in, man.
Well, I mean, it's all right. Here, take this stuff. I'm going back to the desert. Where you at?
There's a lot of clans over here.
Yeah. It sounded more complicated than what it sounded earlier, and I was like, oh, you know.
No, it's not. It's not that bad.
Must be here. Where's your front porch at?
Where's your front porch?
I got you.
Where the fuck does
I
Tater
don't-
live again?
All the way over there at Y20.
Yeah.
No, I don't know
I
where.
don't have.
X21, W21, I think, something
Let's
like
see
that.
here.
Server's lagging again, by the way. So
Oh yeah.
Oh, great.
yeah, I don't get why it's happening again.
Yeah. Peg, I don't know what you go. Oh, Peg's over here, standing as a rock in place.
Yeah. It's anytime I move.
Yeah.
This lag is retarded.
Oh, welcome back.
Oh my god, it just snapped me back.
Yeah, I'm not back.
Nope, I'm not either.
Oh, should be back now. Probably kicked him.
Kick me.
Yep.
It's the last time, boy.
What's up, Rat? Did you are you?
Yeah, I was about to come on over, but I wanted to confirm on the spot first. Is it about
Yeah,
to
I'm here.
nighttime? Oh, fuck.
X21. But yeah, I'm whenever I'm ready. I'll be at the base. So.
X21, you said.
Right.
A lot of good loot
All
over
right.
here.
Oh, thank God Sam's were still off. Holy shit, I would have been cooked.
Alright, I'll go take a look.
Alright, I am flying over to you now.
Alright.
I gotta kind of go around this fucking monster space, though, because there are these kids, like P15. They play kind of like losers. And have like a ginormous fucking base.
Oh, what the hell?
But, you know.
Peg, I'm gonna drop you all this stuff, buddy. I'm going home. I mean, because the further we get
I'm
out,
going home.
well, the further we get out,
The place where I belong.
I mean, it looks pretty good around his base.
Yeah, but then once you get around to like
Yeah, out of
looking, you
it.
see all these other bases, and you're like, I don't know.
I mean, I could fly you around if you just want to scope out the area fully.
I mean, we can fly over to Tater.
Yeah.
There it is over there.
Yeah, since you're going there.
All right, Tater, I'm almost there.
Alright.
Alright. I'm outside.
Jesus.
Hold on.
I did not bring a gun to defend myself.
We might need that. Take that with us. That's about all we need. I got a TC.
Alright.
Is it clear outside? Any danger?
Put that in this box.
Nope, no danger. I have a naked next to me though, but he's just being a body shield.
That's a big fucking base right next to you. What the fuck? Rated?
Alright.
That one above you, below you, no, they're not rated. The one behind me, they're not rated, but that's Crow's base.
Where'd you go?
He-Man told them to be nice. I'm below. You just passed me.
Oh, what the fuck? On my screen, you two are over here still.
It's freaking lagging bad.
Oh, it's Bob Jr. Yeah, you could talk to me in game. Quick,
Gosh.
quick. There's a box.
Just throw it anywhere. I don't even know who this guy is. Oh my god.
Okay.
I have head bag.
Hey, I'll see you
Alright.
back at the base, buddy.
Let me
Alright,
put
come
my-
let me out. Quick.
Okay, it's 1555. See how much I trust you, Rat? I have nothing you want, but you know.
Everything's his anyway.
We'll always take low grade. Or not low grade, sorry, sulfur. We will
Sulfur,
gladly
yep,
take
yep.
sulfur. Because we're
Oh,
poor on that.
Oh, you like some sulfur, huh?
I haven't looked at anything. I had to put shit in this
I
box. I
tossed the backpack and I put everything in that large box and the one above it.
All right. I
Not
put.
crazy, but you know.
I went
it'll-
around to the spawn beach and I got like 2 rows of head bags, so I'm gonna make a head wall. It looks like I killed them, but you know, they don't need to know.
You just went farming fucking random bodies.
Oh my god. Head wall incoming.
Oh my god, what is this monstrosity underneath me at V19? This thing's huge. Like
Is that
only like
near? Hold on.
it's next to the water well. It's only got 2 turrets from the looks of it turned on. Such
Yeah,
a big
that's the one
base,
in the
but-
jungle. In the jungle.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've killed me like 30 times. They're dickwads. They've been on all day long.
Hmm.
Yeah, it looks a little juicy over there. That's where my freaking treasure. That's where my treasure mission is half the time.
That's what damn dick ones. My kids ain't home, you can tell.
Every time my treasure's over there, they're out there killing everybody, getting theirs.
I almost just flew above the fucking base of the guys over here next to us. That would have been fucking oh my god, there's another one right here. Oh my god. Ugh, don't have Sams. And they're online too, even worse.
Oh god.
Oh, they're shooting at me. Assholes.
Yeah. Little douchey. You missed.
That's not bad. I mean,
God,
Totally forgot about this guy.
Alright, let's see. Can I actually see the roof of my base now? I put lights up there, so hopefully.
yeah, don't do like your buddy and run it right in the side of it.
Nope.
I don't know
It
what
is
happened
all it is all fucking pitch black down here. Oh no, as I got closer it's actually got good lighting. Okay. Alright, landed perfectly.
Oh,
It almost
good.
fell into the fucking into one of our peaks though.
Oh my god.
Let me adjust it real quick.
Wait, where's the? How many do I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 11 heads to put up for now.
Have you even looked at the loot? Or the backpack on the ground?
No, that's why I'm trying to get these head bags off my body. I'm gonna put them on the wall. I have no space. Oh, let me look. Perfect.
That day about to get raided. 1,
Ooh.
2, 3.
Alright, I should probably brought you a jacket, but I was like, I think you're gonna die too much. But I just brought you sticks and stuff.
Oh,
This is good.
I think I did put the oil refinery in there.
I got the oil refinery. All I need is a stone gate. But I don't know how far.
I don't have a BP for that. It's not that expensive, honestly.
Yeah, I need to look. I'll put the tier. It's tier 2, right? That's probably why I haven't been able to look at it yet.
Yeah. I couldn't find a tier 3. I think it's sold out. Because, you know, a certain B decided to craft 3 of them instead of just leaving the fucking fragments.
God damn.
Yeah, you know, wasted our high qual on that. I don't know what he was selling them for, though. Let me see. Oh, no, he's just on the roof. He wants it for 8k sulfur.
They're on the roof.
On our roof, vending machines.
Oh.
Yeah, he's got it up there. Welcome back, Kevin.
Hello. It's lagging again. The fucking server's lagging again.
Yeah, I think it's getting doxed. Started
Yeah, I do
yesterday.
too, because it has not done this at all today.
Yeah, it started doing it yesterday when we started raiding those Russians. I'm like, unbelievable, man. They just can't take an L.
Oh, wow, really?
I mean, obviously, you know, not sure if it was them, but
Right, but like, I'm
it's
sure.
just kind of weird that, of course, you know, we start raiding some Russians and the server starts doing this shit.
It's lagged out, Kevin, if nothing's working.
Alright, I'm gonna leave you to it. Fucking gonna go keep Jacob company before he gets off. So.
Alright. Thank you, thank you.
Yep.
Goodbye to my tier 1.
Finally, only a few days, you know.
I know it. It's crazy. Let's go. Look at this head wall coming along.
They got to the bottom where that plate was. They turned and began
Yeah, I'm
going
trying to
back
find
up the
place
ascent to
for
their
it.
first
I don't know.
decompression
I gotta
stop. The
actually.
lead diver got
I'll
through
put
a
it in the box
particularly
upstairs.
tight spot and then noticed that his partner behind him, his flashlight, which was normally right up against him, he couldn't see it anymore. And he turned and he saw that his partner had gotten wedged in this one section of the ascent. So the lead diver turns around and swims down to the trapped diver, who he can tell is panicking a little bit because he's trying to get himself free and he can't move. And the lead diver looks and he can tell that he is thoroughly wedged into this one little section. And the lead diver would say that what he thought happened is the trap diver must have been going too quickly with his scooter and basically motorized himself into this wedge. Like it wouldn't have been humanly possible to swim fast or hard enough to get stuck as badly as he did. The lead diver could tell that he was totally stuck. There was probably no way he was going to get out of this. And so he tried taking some of his gear off, but they have such little space to work with, and the trap diver is starting to sense that this isn't going very well. And in a panic, he accidentally knocks his mouthpiece out of his mouth and can't find it again and ends up inhaling a bunch of water and he dies. The lead diver knows that he can't panic because he will end up burning through his oxygen. He'll probably get hypercapnia. He won't be able to get to the surface and he'll die too. So he tries to free his friend's body and he can't. And he's now realizing that the second set of divers that are coming in the tunnel, they're going to get to this point in the dive, which is very far into the dive, and they won't be able to get past his dead body. And they'll have to turn around, but they don't have enough oxygen, he didn't think, to make it back to the surface.
Wait, didn't he get
and
a
so
new mic?
almost certainly those three divers are going to get here
Who?
and be trapped
Okay.
and are going to die too. And so terrified
don't know why
and
you're not
devastated and saddened by
Right, he's
what's
just
ultimately
typed in
going to
chat
happen,
saying
he turns and
mic
starts
is
heading to the
charging?
surface. And he had to stop
Oh,
at each
headset.
of those decompression
Oh.
stops. And you can only imagine what it was like to be sitting inside of this tight
My
tunnel
headset's
waiting
actually
for 30 minutes and 45 minutes, the different decompression stops, just thinking about what's inevitably going to happen beyond the dead body. They're going to get trapped. They're going to die. He's going to be the only one that gets out of here
Trapped,
alive. And at some point he makes it up to the surface and he just sits there and waits. Meanwhile, the second set of divers did enter the water 2 hours later. They go down to the tunnel, they're making their way out, and they were farther spread out than the pair was. And so the first diver, the lead diver on the second group, he reached the dead body first before the other two had even seen it or knew about it, and he began to panic. And as the second and third diver come up and realize what's happening, they see the lead diver lose his mouthpiece and in a panic. He's moving around like this, and he inhales water and also drowns. And so now the second and third diver are dealing with the fact that they just watched their friend die right in front of them. Their other friend from the first group is dead and blocking their way. And the second and third diver,
Need a
they
lot of
also
wood,
begin
Will.
to panic. They don't communicate, and one of them just immediately turns and starts kicking it out back towards the entrance,
some actions
knowing full well they probably don't have enough oxygen to get there. The other diver decided they were going to find a way to get past the dead body that was wedged in the only way up to the surface. And so on their own, over a kilometer underwater in this tight little tunnel where they're totally trapped, they're relying on a flashlight for light. There's two dead bodies. This second diver begins removing pieces of their gear and pushing it through the little space between the dead body and the clearing that he
hear us,
wanted
though,
to get
Kevin?
to make his way up to the surface. And after pushing through all of his gear, including his tank, which is a big commitment, because once it was through, he would have to go to the other side. He couldn't get it back through, and push himself through painstakingly with his hands all the way through this tiny little space that he could just barely get through. And then he puts his gear back on, and then knowing he had almost no oxygen left, he had to basically rocket to the surface and just hope decompression sickness didn't kill him. The other diver who had turned around and gone all the way back to the entrance, they skipped all of their decompression stops as well. They got to the entrance just barely, but when they got there, the entrance was frozen over, and they had to punch their way through the ice, which they were able to do, and they too got on surface once again. The three survivors linked up, they called authorities, they went to the hospital. They would make a full recovery. They told authorities where their friends were in this cave, but no one had the ability to get down and retrieve their body. So they sealed off both entrances to this cave and called it a gravesite and said no one can go down there. But months later, the three survivors had such intense survivor's guilt that they would actually illegally go back to Plura Cave and retrieve their bodies. In the 1930s, notorious dictator Joseph Stalin began deporting people that he viewed as threats to the regime. Now, at first, that was just political opponents, and he rounded up thousands of those, but over time, Stalin just started rounding up anybody he didn't like. And so as more and more people were deported, Stalin needed a place to put them. The option he settled on was sending these people to Siberia, because it was thousands of miles away from civilization, and the way he saw it is they wouldn't be a threat to the regime anymore because they'd be too busy just trying to survive. Eventually, millions of people were deported to Siberia to fend for themselves, and many people died in the process. But the worst fate of anybody deported to Siberia has to be the roughly 7,000 people that were sent to Nazino Island off the western side of Siberia. In May of 1933, the first 5,000 deportees that would be sent to Nazino Island arrived on its shores. Now, they had been packed inside of barges. Many of them were weak or sick, and so disease quickly spread. And just by the time they arrived, 27 people had already died just in transit. As the survivors disembark onto this snowy island, they see immediately that there's nothing on it. It's this tiny little island. There's no shelter. There's no food. There's no tools. There's no way to make shelter. They're just totally stranded. Their Soviet guards had promised them a ration of flour, but for the first 4 days, they refused to give it to them, and another 295 people died. And to make matters worse, after a couple of days, another almost 2,000 people were shipped out to this island. And so by the time the guards actually took their boats into shore to give the flour to these people, they were starving to death, and they rushed the boats to try to steal the flour, and the guards began shooting at them, took the flour, and went back out to the water. The next day, they came back in to try to give them the flour, and the same thing happened. And so they went back out to the water, and they orchestrated this plan where for every 150 prisoners, there would be a brigadier. And that brigadier would be in charge of coming out and getting the flour and then bringing it back to those 150. But the brigadiers were all criminals, and they would come out, take the flour, and then not distribute it. And so no one got any flour, so no one could eat anything. And the people who did get flour rations mixed it with water, and then they would eat that raw, and it gave them dysentery, and then they died. Totally desperate, these deportees began constructing these crude rafts and began trying to cross the river to the other side, but many of them broke apart and they would drown in the freezing waters. And if they didn't drown, the guards would see them crossing and would take shots at them. And so if they didn't drown or get shot and they did make it to the other side, they'd be in the Siberian wasteland with no supplies, and they would die there too. And so Nazino Island completely devolved into chaos. Almost immediately, cannibalism became a thing, and there were these roving gangs of people that were the strongest and fittest of the island who would just go around and murder the weak and eat them. And the guards that were watching this did nothing to stop it, and frankly couldn't if they wanted to, because you've now reached the absolute extremes of human survival. One local woman who would make an annual trip to Nazino Island before there were people being deported there, made her annual trip and was shocked to see all these people on this island that normally had no one there. And she said from her boat, she watched this group of people run up on this woman, drag her to a tree, they tied her to the tree, and then began cutting off pieces of her while she was alive and eating it right in front of her. And then after the group had left, the woman who was tied to the tree was still alive, and what looked like her partner, her boyfriend, her husband comes over, tries to untie her, he tries to save her, but there's nothing he can do, and she dies in his arms. Another local who managed to save a woman from Nazino Island, she got her into her house and she sat her down, and she noticed that the backs of her legs were all bandaged up. And she asked her what was going on with the backs of her legs, and she undid her dressing, and her calf muscles on her legs were gone. Someone had cut them off and eaten them. Of the nearly 7,000 people that were sent to Nazino Island, only 2,000 remained at the end of the first month they were there. And in fact, when word got out to Stalin that this island had become Cannibal Island, he actually shut it down and moved the remaining 2,000 deportees to another labor camp where unfortunately many of them died as well. And sadly, those 2,000 people only represent a fraction of the massive number of people that died during Stalin's many purges. So that's going to do it, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. Let me know in the comments what you thought, and I will pin the best comment at the top of the comments section. If you enjoyed today's stories and you haven't done this already, please invite the like button to go roller skating with you before you get in the rink using all of their wheels. Also, please subscribe to this channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of my weekly uploads. If you want to get in touch with me, you can direct message me on Instagram or on Twitter. My username on both platforms is the same. It's just JohnBallen416. I also have a ton of content over on TikTok where my username is Mrballen. If you have a story suggestion, please submit it to our subreddit just called Mrballen. It's linked in the description below. So whether I see you on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Reddit,
Oh,
here
just
on
living our
YouTube, or
best
some
lives.
combination, just know that I really appreciate your support. Until next time, guys, that's gonna do it. See you. Today I'm going to share with you 3 progressively more insane stories about people who went to forbidden locations and what happened to them. Spoiler alert, it didn't end well. But before I get into today's stories, if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious delivered in story format, then you've come to the right channel because that's all I do, and I upload 3, 4, even 5 times every week. So if that's of interest to you, please tear out the last chapter in every one of the Like Button's books. Also, please subscribe to this channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of my weekly uploads. All right, let's get into today's stories.
Alright, there we go. It should be charged.
On February 27, 2015, 18-year-old Dalen
speaks.
Bua was visiting his grandmother on the Hawaiian island of Oahu.
I'm here,
Dalen,
I'm
who
here.
was a Hawaiian native himself, didn't spend much time in Oahu with his grandmother, and since he was here, he figured he would do the one thing he had always wanted to do, which was to climb the island's very famous and very illegal Haiku Stairs, or better known
Bacon
as the
good?
Stairway to Heaven. These stairs were a very narrow, rusty, not well maintained, 4,000 step staircase that
Yeah,
leads
that guy
its way
across the
up
water
side
there,
of
I
this
think he's
Hawaiian
getting
mountain.
raided.
It was built during World War II
might
by the
be.
United States Navy because they
Everybody.
wanted access to the top
Yeah,
of
it's
this
like
mountain where
12
they had a
satchels went
secret
off the
radio
side of
station.
his face.
After the war was over, instead of demolishing the steps, they allowed people to walk up and check out the view. But it was so dangerous and it was not well maintained that they eventually closed it to the public starting in 1987 and literally put a fence up and even put guards out to keep people from going in. But Dalen really wanted to do this. So that morning he tells his grandmother that he's thinking about hopping the fence and making the hike. And his grandmother's like, that's a horrible idea. Not only is it dangerous, but they're going to fine you thousands of dollars if they catch you doing that. Dalen backed down from what he said and he said, okay, I won't go. And he kind of played it off like, I'm not going to go on this hike. But sure enough, right after breakfast, he slipped out of the house, hopped on a bus, and he made his way over to the base of these stairs. Even though it was totally illegal and he was incriminating himself, he was so excited about going on this hike that he documented the whole trip by posting pictures of it to his social media. And so the first picture begins with him at the base of the stairs where he posts a picture as he's about to start his hike.
I'm always
And all
prepared
morning,
now.
he's taking pictures along the way up these 4,000 stairs. But then around 11 a.m. that morning, the posting stops abruptly and he hasn't reached the summit. And you figure if you're going to do this hike and you're already posting pictures of just the way up, certainly when you get to the summit, you take a whole bunch of pictures and post all of those because that's the prize at the end of this hike. But for whatever reason, the posting stopped at 11 and he clearly hadn't reached the summit yet. And by that night, when he didn't get home, the family was really concerned and they told police. Police launched this search for him. They're looking all over the stairs. They got helicopters out. The Navy gets involved. There's no sign of him. He's just vanished. When they couldn't find him after several days, they had to call the search off, and the assumption was, well, if you're doing something dangerous, there's a reason this is off limits.
we're not
Probably
getting that.
slipped at some point and fell down the mountain. That's why this is off limits. It's not safe. But when people reviewed some of his last photos that he had posted to social media, they noticed something in this picture. This
no way in
shot
hell
looks
I'll do
like
that.
he's just taking a picture of the dense forest around the stairs. But if you look more
Plus, I ain't got no bag
closely,
anywhere
there is a
near.
man very clearly crouched down a little ways down the trail that appears to be hiding. And many people believe that that guy was following Dalen and at some point attacked him. That Dalen didn't fall off the mountain. He was abducted or killed. To
Where?
this day, Dalen has never been found, and that mystery man has never been identified.
Going back and forth. See him?
The most remote island in the world is Bouvet Island. It is an uninhabited 19 square mile chunk of rock and ice situated in the South Atlantic. If you were looking on a map and drew a 1,000 mile radius around Bouvet Island, there would be nothing else in it. There's no land, there is nothing. In fact, the nearest land is 1,100 miles away, and it's Antarctica. That's not permanently inhabited. The nearest permanently inhabited land is South Africa, and that's 1,600 miles away. The island is so far away from anything that in 1979,
Somebody got mad that
Israel
they
and
got
South
raided.
Africa dropped 2 nuclear bombs on it, and nobody noticed. The only reason anybody found out about
Yeah,
it
the
was
Germans
because
and
the
Chinese.
US satellite happened to be looking
Brad
in
was
the
saying it was the
direction,
Russians
and it saw
that they
2
raided
bright flashes
yesterday.
of light, and they were like, huh, I wonder what that is. And then it turned out to be nuclear testing. For the very few people that have gone to Bouvet Island, you can't just take a ship there or a boat there, because all around
Broke
the
a barrel
edges
and
of this
everything
island
stuck in
are
there.
just jagged ice cliffs, and the water is treacherous down near the edge of these cliffs with very strong currents. If you were to fall in, you'd get sucked up and probably underneath some of these rocks, and then you're done for. So nearly anyone who's stepped foot on Bouvet Island has taken a helicopter and flown the long, sketchy flight, hoping you don't hit a storm because you can't land anywhere.
open and
You're
shut a
in the middle
door,
of nowhere
bro.
with no land, all the way to Bouvet Island. And then anyone that's been on Bouvet
No, it's
Island
open.
only stays for like
That's
a
the
few
problem.
minutes because they're
I
so
can't shut
worried
it.
about a storm rolling in. And the
son of a
weather at
bitch.
Bouvet Island is famously bad, and storms are constantly rolling in. Oh, and Bouvet Island is an active volcano. So it's this horrible place that nobody goes to or should go to. But a few people still do. In 1964, British explorer Alan Crawford was sent out to Bouvet Island with a team of scientists to inspect the northwest corner of the island where a recent lava flow had created a shelf that looked like you could potentially build a building on it. And the British wanted to stand up
really
the weather
suck
station out there,
You're in
but
the
they
middle of a
needed someone
gunfight
to go
right
out
now,
there and
or a raid.
So in April 1964, Crawford and his crew departed South Africa and began a long helicopter ride. When they finally touched down on Bouvet Island, everybody was on edge because you are in the most remote place in the world, and if anything happens to you, there's no help coming for you. So people were eager to get the work done, survey the area, and get right back on the helicopter and leave. So the team immediately gets to work surveying the site, while Crawford decides to just for a couple minutes to step over the ridge and just look out at the island. He was fascinated with Bouvet Island, and he just wanted to get a better look at it. So he walks up this embankment, and he crests the hill, and he looks down, and there's this little rocky alcove that he can see the water. It's in this one area of the island where there's a little bit of a beach. And he sees a wooden lifeboat that's kind of half sunken, sitting in the shallow waters of this lagoon. He couldn't believe it, because he knows it's not theirs, because they came in on helicopter. And he's also thinking, like, how could this boat have gotten here at all? The nearest land is
crazy.
1,100 miles
Looks like the
away.
government
So he starts
shutdown's
walking down
about to be
towards the
done.
boat, and he sees on the beach 2 wooden oars that he assumes go with the boat. Next to them is a flattened copper tank that's used to catch water, and then
Basically,
next
yeah.
to that was a wooden barrel, which also would have been used to store water. He starts looking around the beach for other signs of human life, and there are none. There's no tent, there's no clothes, there's no human remains. He finally gets down
Yeah, 'cause
there
all the other
and
place has a
actually
one-person
ways into the water to inspect this lifeboat.
North
He starts
Korea,
looking for
but
identifying marks or numbers
I mean,
on
we're
the
not-
boat that
that's
might
not
give away where it's
extreme.
from, but there's no significant marking on the boat. It was in pretty good shape, but there was just nothing to give away where it was from. Because Crawford knew they had very little time before they were going to leave the island, he ran back on shore and he looked around on the beach some more. He walked up the hill a ways to get a look down the island to see if there's any sign of human life on this island, but there's none. And so he goes back over to his team and he tells them what he's found. But his team is so focused on getting this survey done and getting the heck out of here that they don't really care about this lifeboat. And they say, you know what, it probably washed up from some shipwreck or something. There's probably some explanation for it. Let's just get this done and get out of here. Crawford feels a little bit frustrated because he's fascinated by what he's just found and he wishes they were too. So he just walks back over the hill and he takes his camera out and he takes a picture of the lifeboat. After that, he hopped in the helicopter, flew back to South
Got on his
Africa,
base,
and
or on the
showed
mountain,
this
straight
picture
ahead.
to his superiors, and he was hoping they would launch some sort of investigation to see who was out there. But much like his team, who
That's
didn't
that
care
picture
when
of
they
the
were
rock.
already at Bouvet Island, his superiors, who were thousands of miles away from Bouvet Island, just didn't care very much about some random lifeboat on some random island in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, there's a guy
2
camping
years
on it.
after Crawford's expedition, another crew was sent out to Bouvet Island to survey the lagoon where this lifeboat was found. The crew would report that they found the lagoon, but there was no boat, there was no barrel, there was no copper tank, there was no oars, nothing. It was as if it was never there. So while we don't know how the boat got there or how it left or who was on the boat and where they went, what we do know is at some point, some poor soul or souls were trapped on the most isolated and wretched island in the entire world. In central Texas lies a stunning natural wonder called Jacob's Well. It's this beautiful clear water spring that every summer when the weather gets really hot in Texas, people converge on Jacob's Well and enjoy swimming in the water. But it's not just for casual swimmers trying to avoid the heat. It's for daredevils that strap scuba gear on and dive down through Jacob's Well through a 10-foot wide shaft that leads to one of the most intricate and dangerous underwater cave systems in the world. Jacob's Well is broken up into 4 chambers. As you move from chamber 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, it gets harder and harder to squeeze through the narrow spaces, and each of the chambers gets smaller and they get darker because you're losing sunlight, and they just...
No, I'm inside. I think
you're
locked.
They're chilling at auctions. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Let's go way up.
The treasures will be right here.
I don't know anybody on
somebody's
it.
body bag with their shit in it.
Grab that shit and run.
Guess what?
Oh, another bag. Oh my god.
Guess what was wide open?
The entire base.
Where's my treasure mission at? Damn it.
It's usually in the back side.
Alright. I'm out of here.
Yeah, once I upgrade this, I'm out.
Yeah. Where am I gonna lay down at? Right here. Beg, for some reason I'm in a way, just chop me up.
Nah, you good, dog.
There's a guy right in here. Naked in there.
Alright, I'll catch y'all later.
See ya.
Alright, partner.
See y'all.
Must be on
It might. Oh, it's on the roof. Yeah, you get up on the roof right here. Right here. Oh, shit.
Where's yours? Down.
No, it's over to the left.
I have a full inventory. We'll come back from here.
Here, just take my shit and go.
I don't know what you have.
Nothing really. That's it.
There's a guy right there.
Where on you?
Yeah, he's down here.
There's 2 guys. 2 guys. One to the left. Go, yeah. Go, 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 go. Swim across.
Now I can't go to the fucking space. I got 3 tech
There's a
crafts,
guy.
a rifle body.
There's a guy running to your right, too, and he's naked.
Water is just the heat. This is a death trap right here.
Just don't get close to Grant.
Seconds I can go in there. Time I get there. Now I gotta get it back.
I won't be getting that, so don't worry. Place 25 scrap.
I am fighting for my life over here.
I do it every time I get on this game.
Oh, every time I go by, I make you guys laugh. Neighbors going by in a hazmat. I know I'm not naked this time. Don't be shocked. Here we go. Let's go back, Kevin. Do that treasure mission.
Oh, I can't even get over there. It's called insanity.
Wait, didn't I? Got a bunch of P2s.
Enough scrap in there to learn that refinery.
I just learned Lower Refinery. I have an extra one to put down. I could've.
Big ass one piece behind me now too.
Leaving like the pistol bullet, and there's like a hazmat, a couple things under the research table for you to learn.
Ain't learning no hazmat.
Like 10 scraps, whatever.
Where's your comps box at?
I only have a small comp box down there. Everything's down there. I'm trying to put tier 2 down there now. There's this extra box up here you can put it in. I'm gonna shoot my gun.
Yeah.
Tier 2's upstairs. Seismic sensors do again?
Hey, when you're getting raided.
Fences boom.
You
can have it
Oh,
set to
very
like a
good.
raid alarm, or you can have it set to whatever door shutting. Shit like that.
Okay.
Nope.
Yep.
You guys on the desert yet?
I'm in the desert. I'm flopping back and forth, but I'm in the desert. Itter's over at, I think, what, X21? Something? Yeah.
She's over there. We are.
But then, that's about it. Server's been on and off lagging the whole night, so.
It's me. Fuck that Nick. He's a little kid.
Yeah, I know, but I have the.
Got Porter on too.
Porter's playing
He's
solo.
found his way back to computer.
Yeah, he's playing
raided.
solo one.
Kill him?
Oh, he's up on the up here base.
Got raided.
Yeah, and like, I left my base for like 5 minutes, came back, raided.
Where were you, in the desert or near us? The other side.
The other side.
And then there were two.
There's another naked out here.
I am naked. Can you spare some change? Back last night, Peg, we ended up winning again. Someone else won, even though there's a 4-man squad we were in, right until the zone burned us up. There's some glitch out there.
Yeah, I think there was some glitch the last time that happened too when we played.
Yeah, it's weird because like We did the same thing. We were like, we couldn't find him, and there was nowhere he could have been hidden.
Yeah.
We just burned up the 4 of us that were sitting there. We're just like, okay, we got second. We couldn't. No idea what happened.
Yeah. I don't know.
So
I think there's a glitch in the game or some shit.
I haven't seen any videos on it though, so I haven't seen what they did.
Yeah. I don't know.
Knows it sucked.
The kid is just so happy I made that stuff.
Yeah, he's a kid.
Yeah.
Somebody cares about me.
Look at you helping the needy.
I hate kids. But
Fuck all these people on this server.
Now he'll be back every day asking for something.
Yep, he's gonna die with that bow and come back and like, you got a P2 or something?
exactly.
He'll be like, I'll give you one, but now you gotta go farm me 5,000 sulfur.
Yeah, bring me back 5,000 sulfur.
Now we give you a gun.
Brings it back, kill him, take his shit. Yeah, that's Rust.
You know, she has a farm bot.
Welcome to Rust.
Some Tater's fucking goddamn 12 stature raid.
At least I have like a better chance because people know who I am around here. I have a little bit of a better chance if I didn't know anybody.
You're the tater.
And his fucking neck is just goddamn bunny hopping down a fucking rope. Oh my god, the server's lagging like crazy.
Yeah, it's freaking annoying.
Mine is too. I can't open nothing.
It's pissing me
It's
off.
been like this all night.
Mm-hmm.
I've died 3 times because of this lag.
Fucked up. There's nothing they can do about it.
Still lagging.
I'm stuck in the animation of. Oh my god.
You guys are all encouraging me to sign on right now.
I'm about to go play Battlefield, I'll be honest with you. There's no fucking
back now.
wall of heads. What the fuck? Weird, man.
Go see what I just built.
Why is it so big? All you need is 2 free triangles. Definitely. Man. Hey, it's your base, not mine. Looks fantastic. Does it fit? I can get right through it. That's funny. L9s and shit. That's crazy. Who the fuck is that talking?
Probably Bob. He went to his
That's just Bob.
It sounds like he's got Down syndrome, Tater. He talks really, really slow. You are now married to him.
He just gave me a laptop, 2 tech tracks. Right to Bob.
He said, "Don't hit me, bro. Okay."
There's shotguns near my house.
That's me, and this dude chased me, trying to kill me, and I just ran him right in front of my shotgun trap and took everything he had.
We have one on the outside.
I've got 4 on the outside.
My
So
next
that guy
trio's
just
gonna
lost
try to
his
get down,
loot.
dude.
Guy
Definitely want
just
to get those.
lost his loot. What an idiot.
It didn't cost much to make.
I've got a turret you can have if you want to put it up.
I still gotta get the electrical working. I just took the battery back up today. I gotta bomb to the roof my own, or pick it out. I don't know what I want to do. One or the other.
I don't know what all that is out there.
Don't know, but it's terrifying to me.
Yeah,
I need a
I think
window,
I'm-
something bad. My 2 solar panels barely touch charging this battery.
I feel like I'm fixing to get raided.
Is it crazy over there?
Yeah, I'm gonna get raided tonight for sure. We got neighbors that are really Oh God, who's in my base?
Kevin is.
Oh, whew.
Oh my god. That compound around. Oh my god, he is doing nothing but roof camping like crazy, huh?
Yeah, he's
Yep.
like bolty roof camping over there.
P2. Multi roof camp. Oh, you
Got
got
some
raid
nice
over
neighbors.
here?
Did my shotgun truck get
Motherfucker's
somebody?
naked bolty on the roof.
Oh yeah, he ain't playing around.
That is a 5-man that he's shooting at right now.
I'm brave.
I'm naked going toward the sky.
So many people.
You know, I'm not the frag skill.
Mr. Leahy with a bolty.
Mr. Leahy, yeah.
Leahy's been on the server a while.
This wooden door over here is 92 health.
You just threw a grenade at me.
No. Over here about. There's so many people over here.
They're raiding something. Something's getting raided.
Something is going down for sure.
Yeah, they're walled up.
Y'all got a big ass base in the water. That's where they live.
Yeah,
Fucking
that's
5-man.
the
That's
ones
new.
that was like trying to kill me a while ago. Yeah, it just come up a while ago. I watched them.
That's why we'll be short timers here probably soon.
Yeah, we're gonna die.
Hey, we'll go down without a fight at night. We're not.
Down without a fight.
Guarantee that.
There's fucking people around here, man. That guy with that bolty is no joke.
Is he?
He is going crazy.
Yeah, he's not fucking around. No way.
Okay. He said OG Zombie said that we're cool. And he
As long as we don't do anything.
Donald, somebody messed with him.
See, don't mess with them when we have a chance.
Yes, they did. You better hold your horses on there, little kiddo.
Oh my god, dude. Well, if I want to die, I might as well run down here to Foxham's.
And do it. You gotta do it in style.
Somebody left.
Cat, get off my lap. Nighttime, dude.
I think it's bad.
What's happening right now?
Yeah.
You're hitting rocks.
I'm trying to bust out my roof so I can get a hatch up to the roof. Picking it away right now. It's good nighttime activity. They're dropping out fast. What are you doing, Black? Chilling. Chilling. Good activity. Did you guys get your hemp farm working again?
No, I'm talking to Tim about it right now because it got raided. And so we have to
Yeah.
build a new one. I was gonna tell you, Julia got her new car yesterday.
Is it the Subaru thing?
Yeah, it's a Crosstrek. It's fine. I like it.
Which color?
I like it substantially better than the Impreza that she's in.
Gotcha.
She bought it on Carvana.
They deliver it.
Yeah, free for the fucking driveway,
Nice.
which was awesome, honestly.
Was it new or used?
It's used. It's got 9,000 miles on it. Like basically new.
Nothing. Yeah, nothing.
It's a year old. Yeah.
They end up totaling her other car.
Yeah. Pretty easy.
This was-
Like, it came with plates and the whole deal. Like they got it all registered for her and everything.
I know a couple people that have done that. As long as you know what you want, it's perfect for that.
Yeah.
If you want to drive it, then you kind of just like even their test period apparently is decent. Yeah, I know somebody did that, tested it, and then ended up returning it like 2 weeks later and got something different.
Yeah.
They came picked it up and gave you a new one. It was weird.
You get like 7 days and 450 miles to try
Yeah.
it. And if you don't like it, you can just send it back.
One of the guys I worked with did that. He didn't like it, so they ended up getting something else and they dropped off the new one. They picked up the old one. It was so it's weird, but it worked.
It was like it was funny because it was because it's ABS and we like
Yeah, everyone's staring.
Well, yeah, this like really nice like brand new roll-off truck shows up with a car on it, parks in front of our house, and like everybody's like outside like what's going on. My neighbor Tom, he actually like came outside and started like he like came up behind the driver and like was like started talking to him.
Small town.
No, can't touch that. No.
Dun. Can't touch.
Wow. No. What have you been doing all day, bro?
Hey, look, Val's back. And he's still horny.
He's still horny. Yeah. Still horny. grass. Oh, it's raining in the desert.
Almost halfway there.
You're what?
Picking away my roof.
Who is?
I am.
You're picking away your roof?
Yeah, I left the spot where I need to go up to make the next level for the roof. So I can do an windmill and overlook. Do it until I have materials for all that stuff. Pick out the roof. More or less just an annoying activity.
I've mostly just been trying to do whatever I can to help Tim. Just feeding him materials right now.
Me and Bacon are just trying to survive. We make it through next week, we might have a chance for the wipe. Let's see.
His base nearby us is getting quad rocketed right now.
They're all talking about right now.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, it's right. It's east of me.
You can
Probably
hear
not
it.
far from
Hold on, bro. I'm
the
coming.
launch site. I can hear it. Yeah, there's rockets going off every. There's 4 going off every second.
But I have a new wife.
Hello. Yo, it's fucking booming.
What?
There's full on battle going on right now.
Yeah, some people just started roaming around over here. It's been pretty quiet in our area.
We hit your head.
Like crazy rockets going on or what? I don't know
Yeah,
what's
the
going on.
rocket. There's a raid going off over by launch, and there's like there must be 4 rocketers. It's just like
Yeah,
consistent.
it's just like non-stop. Bang, 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 bang.
Wasting rockets.
Yeah, I think when you've got that many rockets to waste, they don't really care.
Bacon, you got extra wood. behind you.
I didn't know it could rain this hard in the desert.
I didn't either. What's your forecast though?
Oh, I want to go see if I can get close to this raid. I want to see it.